Please don't spoil the movie
by adding your own soundtrack. Okay. And we live, baby. Hello, I'm Bonnie Bennett.
Bonnie Bennett.
Bonnie Bennett.
We'll get to that later.
Okay.
My name is Zoe Brooks.
Zoe 101?
Yes, I finished the movie.
Okay.
So,
do you want to guess what I'm from?
What is it, Bonnie? What?
Bonnie Bennett. I don't know if you watched the show. It's a show.
Bonnie Bennett. Is it a children's program?
Teenager, CW, black girl.
Oh, Riverdale.
Older.
It's not Riverdale. It's on the CW. Oh, Vampire Diaries. Yep. Oh, I never knew her last name. Bonnie Bennett. I watched Vampire Diaries for like a season and a half, two maybe.
So they started having 22 episodes of nothingness, and they're like, okay, guys, wrap it up. I hate shows like that.
Well, you used to watch it, so
because it would be like it had one main plot stretched over 22 episodes, and they probably talked about that one problem, that one plot in like 10 of the episodes, and everything else was just full of filler. And I'm just like, oh my god,
Did you ever finish that show?
Yes, I did.
You did. How does it end? I remember, not to interrupt you, the last episode I saw was like a season finale, and I want to say they went to like a cave or something. I want to say it had something to do with like Stefan
trying to find the cure.
Maybe. I remember it was like they were in the woods or something. Yeah.
If it's what I'm thinking of. So one season they were like trying to find the cure, you know, for being a vampire. They had to go to like this wilderness and this cave to find the original vampire, the oldest vampire. And he had the cure, like the cure was his blood or something, one of that. But that's probably what you're thinking of, if I had to guess. But the way it ends is, now I don't remember why one of them has to die. Oof.
Oh my god!
But
one of them dies.
Yeah. Damien. No. Stefan dies so that Damien can live on. I can't remember why.
Boo.
But you know, Stefan was the bad vampire
originally,
and he's the reason why Damien turned, because he was
bad.
Yeah, because Damien was a sweetheart. He didn't want to become a vampire, and Stefan was like. They kind of hit the fact that he's like the Ripper, you know, like the serial killer, the Ripper from like forever ago.
Oh, really? Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, Jack the Ripper. That's what it is. They trying to hint at that. Like
when he was regular, when he was
when he was a vampire, but in the beginning of his time, he was very evil, so much that he was Jack the Ripper.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But
it's just so crazy because like as a vampire, he's like a sweet baby angel.
Now he is.
I wonder, like, what was
they all go through it.
The turning point, like, what was?
I forgot why he was so angry in the beginning, or like why he become good. I don't know.
And
like
why
who
all
switched
of a sudden?
What? Right. But then so he sacrificed himself, and then Elena and Damien, you know, they could be together. I don't know why.
I didn't like
why they did that. I can't remember
the switcheroo of her
going with Damon.
Like she started off with Stefan, and then I didn't like that. I was like, what is this?
The very first episode of
Damien
Vampire
wanted her or something?
He was the first one to meet her. He was like, he met her first. He was like, oh, you're smitten. I'm smitten by you. But he like, you know, glamored her. So she doesn't really remember, but he saw her first.
So what?
But he also he also loved Catherine, the evil version of her, Elena. Right. So he's always like that girl. He's always like that vibe.
I don't know. I was just never here for it.
But it was cute. Stefan went to heaven and met up with that blonde girl that he used to hang out with all the time, his best friend.
She dies?
Yeah.
Oh my god, why? She was a vampire too, huh?
She dies like 3-4 seasons before that. She been died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he goes to heaven, he meets her. He's like, what's up? She's like, what's up? And you're like, oh my god.
Not heaven.
Like, so good to see you.
Vampires don't go to heaven.
Vampires do go to heaven.
They go to hell.
I don't know. Or, you know, I think they kept trying to make it seem like vampires and witches have their own spirit realm. So maybe that's where they went. I can't remember.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. I think that's where they went. I could be wrong. There has so much crap.
I can do. What about Bonnie? What happens with Bonnie?
I do not remember. Does she die?
They would want to not kill her the way she was always saving the day.
I don't know. I feel like
did she even find love?
No. Or she might have went for the brother. I don't remember. But I think at one point she dies.
She said no.
I think she dies and she comes back to life. I don't know. Her story, you know, they had a lot of that going on. They just used her whenever they needed to.
Right.
I'm sure she was alive because I'm sure she had to do some spell to get because you know the actor who plays
they used her like a chew toy.
Yeah. You know the actor who plays Elena.
She has a very crooked face.
Bonnie, yes, she does. She's beautiful though.
She is beautiful. But I'm like,
let me finish my words.
Crooked. Okay.
The actor who plays Elena, you know, she wanted to be off the show because she broke up with old boy. She was off the show.
Oh, the main girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, her character, she wasn't even in the last 2 seasons. She was dead, or she was, like, not dead, but she was, like, they put her to sleep.
Right.
So, I think they needed Bonnie to wake her up. I'm sure. I don't know. So, she didn't come back to the very last episode. For, like, a little, hey, cutesy.
If I was the star of a syndicated television show.
You go nowhere.
I'd be like, he's the one who has to go, not me.
Yeah.
Ian Somerhalder is the one who has to kick the bricks.
Or like y'all gonna have to write around this. I'm sorry.
Right. or we're gonna have to figure it out. Yeah. We both remain on the show, but we don't film scenes together.
Yeah. Was it that bad?
Martin style.
Okay, right. They did a Martin? I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't date or anything, but apparently he was like an alcoholic. Or like he had he was a douche.
Mm-hmm.
And during the later seasons, the girl who plays, what's her name?
Pam.
No, that's Pam's the one who they swear to God is ugly because she's dark skinned. His girlfriend, whatever, Gina. Gina didn't want to like film scenes with him, and so towards the end of the show, they don't film scenes together.
Okay,
like they're both on the show, but they're not.
Gotcha.
In scenes together.
Yes,
I'm like, good for her.
Make it work.
She's like, y'all ain't about to get rid of me. We just not gonna be.
She said he will not disturb my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Make it work.
Or my check.
Exactly. And welcome back to
Please Don't Spoil the Movie,
a podcast brought to you by sisters who love each other.
Upon occasion. So I finished the Zoe 101 movie. I don't remember where I left off.
I actually saw the trailer for it. It actually did look good.
Oh, you finally saw not even the movie, the trailer for it?
And I didn't go searching for it. It popped up and I was like, oh, it doesn't look that bad.
Why did you even see the trailer?
I don't know. I must have been watching something and the trailer popped up.
Maybe I just feel like the script was kind of all over the place. Because what we have is, so Quinnen, what's his face? Mm-hmm. The rich kid. Logan, they get married. They're getting married, right? Yeah. So Zoe's like, she's lost touch with all of them. So she's not in contact with any of them. They're all still friends.
Yeah.
She's in a point of her life where she's like finding herself lost, whatever. So she hires somebody to bring at the wedding, right? So that should have been it. That should have been the focal point of the film. Like, okay, like, are we ending up with this guy who we brought to the wedding? Or are we ending up with Chase? What's going on here?
So been done before.
Right. It has been, but this is a made for not even TV, a made for a streaming platform film. So we can reuse other plots here. So that should have been it. Like that should have been it. But then they want to add in the whole thing to where she's trying to get a promotion at work. So she's trying to work the day of the wedding while being in the wedding. So that was another thing.
What's her job? Marketing?
So she works for literally like a TV show that think like Are You the One? It was literally like Love Island type of show, right? So that's how she ended up getting the guy who she brought to the wedding for. He auditioned to be on the show.
Okay.
So they add that in there. So she's trying to work the day of the wedding. Then they throw in that the guy that she might be bringing is like might be a murderer. I'm like, that's random. Like, what are we doing here?
That's hilarious.
I'm like, why is
Was he actually a murderer?
Yes.
What the fuck? Why?
Yes, that's the gag.
It would just been better if he actually wasn't a murderer.
So then you remember the girl on the show, Stacy, with the lisp?
Yeah.
Cotton swabs. Mm-hmm. So she is in the wedding, right? She's friends with them. She has like the #1 murder crime podcast or whatever.
Okay. Love.
So out of nowhere, she like throws out there, and there's like the Malibu murderers on the loose. And so she throws it out there that it's the guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
and so obviously everybody's like, obviously it's not him.
Exactly.
But then at the end of the film, they like show him like he has like a dead body in his car.
At
the ending credits. They show him putting like a shovel and a body into his car.
Why not show him getting arrested? Not like that would irk me. That's a storyline that's gonna like keep me guessing now.
The film just goes like, it's just like all over the place. They should have just stuck to one central thing.
It's actually hilarious that there was a serial killer.
What I did like is at the end, and they mentioned PCA, and it really didn't like cross my mind watching the film. I was like, why are they not like talking about PCA like enough? But then they end up having the wedding at PCA, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute, because the school is like abandoned because it closed down. Because they were like the last graduating class because it wasn't like an accredited
Wait, that's
high
hilarious.
school, which I think is hilarious because I feel like everybody who always watched the show was like, high schools like this is not real.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, this shit is so fake, and then like lo and behold in the show.
Right. It's like the movie accepted.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, we're the last senior class. The school wasn't actually accredited at all.
And none of us have high school degrees.
And you know what I also forgot? That originally when Zoe 101 started, you remember it was an all-boys school.
Yes.
And they opened it up to girls. I forgot all about that.
Right.
They mentioned that. I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot. It was started off as an all-boys school.
Right.
But yeah, they had the wedding at PCA. It's really cute.
That's cute.
I liked it. I just don't like Jamie Lynn Spears. And she looks, I will say this, I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but she looks awful. Horrible.
God don't like evil.
Well, that's all I have. I mean, I guess. What else do you have? What's going on in your life?
I just saw Beyonce in her mouth.
Beyonce all over my mouth.
Like, look at her. I saw the Beyonce Renaissance tour. It was amazing. It was great stuff.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was glad you guys had.
I don't know why no one ever explained this to me earlier. But people were like, where are the visuals? Where are the visuals? Where are the visuals? I was watching it. I was like,
I have no idea what that means.
The visuals. Like she drops like the music videos, like the visual or like the concert.
Where are the visuals?
Yeah, they're like, where are the visuals for this concert? Because usually she drops like
visuals.
Yeah, the, whole like this album that you love with the. Anyway, I was like, oh, these are the visuals. We're like watching them live, but no one ever told me. No one ever confirmed that for me. I was like, oh,
but she was gonna have visuals at the concert.
Well, because people were just talking about it on and on and on before the album. Before she went on tour, and she was like, she still hasn't dropped them. And no one was like, oh, she hasn't dropped them because you have to go there to see them.
Right.
They're like, this is the story.
People were waiting on Lemonade, but this isn't Lemonade.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. They were waiting for the Lemonade like aspect of it. But she was like, honey, you gotta come.
Right. She can't do the same thing over and over.
Right.
They should have known better.
But now she got a movie coming out December.
And that is where I will see the visuals. I did not attend the concert. And that is where I will watch.
Right.
Happily. For free.
For free, amen. I wonder if I will watch it. I don't really like stuff like that.
I liked Black is King.
What's that? Is that the concert? Which one called?
When she did the whole thing on Disney Plus.
I didn't watch that.
Yes, you did. It came out during the pandemic. You know what I'm talking about?
Not Homecoming.
Oh my God. Are you serious? Black is King. It was like it came out on Disney Plus.
It was like her and her album?
It was the Black album, the one with brown skin girl on it.
Oh, maybe I'd watched parts of the movie. I feel like I didn't sit down and watch. It was like a documentary?
It was literally like Lemonade.
Oh, okay. Maybe I saw some of it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm thinking this is going to be more like the Homecoming. I didn't watch that.
Oh. I watched that.
Yeah, I saw parts of it.
I'll watch her work on TV.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
I just don't. That stuff doesn't.
It doesn't. If it was anybody else, I was like, I don't want to watch this. But since it's her, and I'm not seeing it in person,
right?
I'll watch it.
I think I want to watch.
I mean, Homecoming, like, come on, like people. I feel like
was iconic.
Yeah, that everybody was like, that might have been the best freaking live outside performance they've ever seen in their entire life. Right.
Right.
Of the century.
I do want to see the background information of this tour.
But I don't want to know any of the back end stuff. I don't want to know. I just want to
know. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it again.
I don't want to see the rehearsals.
I see. That's what I want to see.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see whatever diet you had to take up to prepare for this. Just give me the show.
I want to see Blue Ivy's transition between like I'm scared and like I got it. I want to see them damn twins. I want to see what they was talking about, and I want to see who she think won the mute challenge.
Mute challenge wasn't y'all.
We did good.
I heard somebody scream. I was like,
no, we did amazing.
No.
People say we won.
Beyonce didn't say y'all won.
Who? No, she didn't say anyone's won. She knows better.
I saw a video, and I think it was from the one when she was in Houston. Well, she's playing favorites. Mm-hmm. But they did very well, and she said, oh my goodness, I think y'all won that one. So she really did.
Can't. Okay, well, we're definitely top 5.
Kansas City. Did you see Kansas City? Horrible.
I was
like, do you have any home training?
Well, for them, I will say she made it last so long.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, like ours was like everybody on mute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Energy. Theirs was like everybody on mute. Like, of course, the people were gonna start screaming. Right. I was like, okay, Beyonce, why are you doing that to them? That's enough. Then she was like, okay, let's see how long y'all can last. And a lot of people were saying that they were surprised that New Orleans did well because I guess they think we're loud and don't listen. I don't know.
How rude.
Yes.
What else?
I've been watching I've been watching this show called The Changeling. It's on Apple TV.
Never heard of it.
It has that black guy, and he does stuff.
That one black guy.
And he's skinny.
Who hates himself and he's skinny?
No, I said, and he's skinny.
Oh. Where did I get and he hates himself?
I don't know. Lakeith Stanfield. He's in the
Atlanta guy.
Yes.
Okay. What is this show about?
It's like a horror fairy tale thing.
What is up with you?
I'm so into it right now.
The horror.
Well, Brooke told me to watch this. She was like, I think you will love it.
The horror era to end.
No,
I'm not into it.
I love it. It's not that scary, but it's like a dark fairy tale. Basically, a changeling it's a mythical. Well, it's like a mythical thing that happens where fairies they will steal your baby and replace it with like a fairy baby. So like they'll steal your baby and then replace it with like a replica baby. It's not really a baby. It's like a monster. Oh. I'm not sure what happens, but there's a lot going on because in the beginning of it, the main girl, she goes to like Barcelona. She goes to a lake that people told her not to go to. She meets an old lady who's like a witch, and she puts this thing around her, like a bracelet around her wrist, and it's like, you get 3 wishes, don't cut it. She get home, Lakeith ass, cut the damn thing, and now all these bad stuff is happening to her. They then took her baby, and I don't know what's happening. I still have two more episodes.
Why did he cut it?
Because he was like, with me, you won't need these wishes. I can make all your dreams come true.
What is he?
That's her boyfriend. They met right before she went to Barcelona. She came back, and
But is he mythical too? Like,
no, he's a regular person.
He's literally like, oh, this witch told you not to cut it off, but I'm gonna cut it off because I'm your man, and I can. You don't. Is he crazy?
Thank you. And she let him. She said before he cut it off, she had it on for 6 months because she was like, I ain't cutting this.
Wait, she had to keep it on forever?
The witch said, I don't know. She said, do not cut it. When it falls off, your dreams will come true. Your wishes will come true. So I don't know how long she was supposed to keep it on, but she wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to fall off on its own. But that lady said, do not cut it.
Was the witch scary looking?
Old lady had like one blind eye.
That's horrific.
Not that scary.
That's scary enough.
But she was sitting by the lake by herself, and when she felt the girl behind her, she did one of like a hand motion without even looking at her. That was kind of creepy. She was like, I know you're there. Come talk to me.
Wait, what?
Like the lady's sitting at the lake.
Not the witch?
The witch facing the lake.
Uh-huh.
The girl's coming behind her.
Uh-huh.
The witch doesn't look behind, and she like beckons her with like her hand, like come on down. Doesn't turn around at all.
No, thank you.
There.
No, thank you.
Why would you?
Absolutely not.
I was like, the Caucasian audacity for you to go to a lake that the locals told you not to go to.
This is a white girl?
She black.
Oh, okay.
She black. It's everybody black. It's a black show. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The witch was black too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Everyone's black. I think the only white people they show is Lakeith's father was white.
That's random because he's definitely he does not pass for biracial.
I was confused because I thought at first I didn't know
she's light skinned.
Yeah, at first I didn't know who her parents were, but they haven't really showed her parents. But actually, her parents were a white man too. I was like, "What's going on here? Why both their parents white men and their moms are black?" They could
never have a show where everyone's just fully black.
I was like, something's
can't be allowed.
On. Yeah, but so both their parents are white.
It's in the unofficial rule book.
Men. But yeah, it's really good. The 2 episodes left haven't come out yet, but.
And what is this on?
Apple TV.
This is where people can watch it. Apple TV.
Yes.
You have Apple TV.
Mom does.
She does.
Yes.
Where's Apple TV at?
Downstairs. She watches the soccer show.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah, and we watch.
That's on
Truth
Apple
Be
TV?
Told. Truth Be Told. Yeah, that's where we watch it. Just ask her for her information, but it's downstairs.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, before we move on, I'm trying to figure out what else is going on in my life because I feel like we haven't talked about Mia enough.
Well. Let me tell you about my life.
Let me see.
You want to tell everyone you went to the Vanderpump Rules or one of the Vanderpump Rules? Are you interested in that? No,
I guess that's not that interesting. So I went to Vegas. Well, I went to Los Angeles slash Vegas for work for a week. And then so when we went to Vegas, we stayed in Planet Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And I went For all of you who don't know, we're Bravo fans.
Bravo.
So Lisa Vanderpump, who's on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Vanderpump Rules,
obviously
has restaurants in the Paris Hotel and in Caesar's Palace. So I went to her restaurant in the Paris Hotel. It's Vanderpump et Paris. And I went there, very gaudy, looks like her other restaurants. I was like, this is just like a lot of crap in here. And then there's like...
Is it dim lighting?
Yes, of course.
I love dim lighting.
And then it smelled funny. I was like, it smells
funny. I don't know.
But yeah, that was cool. I will say Vegas, I don't know what's going on over there, but the whole time I felt trapped and I didn't like it. I felt like
that's what it's supposed to be.
When you see you put like a hamster or a mouse in a little maze and they gotta get out. That's literally how I felt.
So you couldn't walk right and be like outside or left and find a door.
It just I don't know if that's how Vegas is built, because this is my first time going to Vegas as an adult. The last time I've been there is when we were like 9. So I don't know. One of my friends was like, "Oh no, I have friends out there." And she was like, I think they're just like, the city's the strip is very heavily under construction. It's like, I pray to God, because this is a horrible setup. It's not walkable.
It's not walkable.
I mean, it is walkable, but it's just like, you can't, if there was a fire, they would all be screwed. Everyone is dying.
And you're like walking inside. You just don't know how to get out. Is that what you're saying?
It's inside. It's just a maze. You want to go here, you got to go this way. Turn. It's just a maze.
Okay.
And it's just like, okay, but what if I want to cross the street? You can't. You can't do that.
You got to find the right.
You got to walk half a block.
Yeah.
Then cross the street. It's just.
Maybe there is a construction. Okay.
You easily can get lost. I don't understand. It's not safe for drunk people.
Can you find a casino easily?
There's a casino on every corner.
And that's how you know you're home.
That's why they built it like that. I'm just like, this is not conducive for drunk people. Like, how do they find their way?
Have you ever seen Percy Jackson? The
lightning thing?
Yeah.
No.
There's one scene in it, because he's trying to whatever, but there's like one scene where they go to a casino and they're having fun, and then he wakes up and he's like, how long have you been here for? And it's like 6 days.
Oh wow.
But like they're in like a mythical area where they're trying to keep people and there's no windows, but it's just like, but it's basically a casino. That's what they're. It's like the same thing.
Casinos are all about.
Exactly. But this version was kind of mythical and you get lost. But they would like stop drinking. You had to stop drinking the Kool-Aid to like. Everyone's passing out these drinks and they're like, oh, how long have we been here for? 6 days. What the fuck?
Let's stay here another 6 days.
They think they're only been there for 2 hours. One of those things. But
okay, and last thing, we both have had birthdays recently.
Oh yeah.
Yes. September 14th and September 26th.
29.
28.
Crazy.
That's crazy to think that we're only like 11 months apart.
I know.
We
were the same
Our mom
age.
was getting it cooking.
Gross.
She said, I want another one, another one, another one, another club, another bar, another tour.
Bar, club. Could you imagine if she wanted 4 kids?
Can you imagine if there was a fourth one of us? I wonder what it would be.
Funny.
Would it be a girl or would it be a boy?
I think it would be a little boy.
If she was lucky, it would be a boy.
Could you imagine if we had another girl running around here?
God, poor Joshua. That would suck.
Yeah. I think it would be a fun we had a little brother.
I know. Yeah.
Who's picking up Jamal or Justin or whatever the hell his name is. And
Justin,
what's
Joseph. What was his name? It would definitely be a J.
Yeah.
Jason. Jonathan. Jared. James.
Maybe James.
Not Jamal. She would never do Jamal. That's too urban for her.
Jaquez. I'm just kidding.
Absolutely not. Be for real. Jaquez.
Could be Jordan spelled a different way.
No, that's so lazy.
Josh. J-O. No.
It would literally be James.
Yeah.
It would definitely be James.
I don't know if I like that as a brother. It's her brother James. Doesn't flow. Jordan, Josh, Jade.
James.
It's not fitting.
It doesn't flow because it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that's why you feel like it doesn't flow.
I don't know.
Anywho, we're old.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That
brings us to birthdays.
Oh, there you go. Segue. So this movie about Jade.
Think birthdays. Think foreign exchange student. Think the 80s.
Yes.
Think pinnacle high school teen coming of age film. Think popular senior. Think homely sophomore. Think nerdy freshman. Think social class of high school. Think weddings.
Yes.
Think
muscle relaxers.
Easily forgotten. Think muscle muscle relaxers. Think grandparents and in-laws.
Gross.
Think just school dances.
I don't know why I said gross to grandparents. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Just like at the same time, it's like it's too much. Sorry.
Think high school parties.
Yeah.
And that leads us to drumroll, please. 16 candles,
honey. A classic, an American classic.
Summary.
Right up there with the Breakfast Club.
Period. High school sophomore Samantha Baker, Molly Ringwald, is hopeful her 16th birthday is the beginning of a great new year.
Thanks,
but is shocked when her family forgets the occasion because her older, beautiful, self-absorbed sister, Jenny, is getting married the next day.
Damn you, Jenny.
Not to mention, Sam has a crush on senior Jake, who she presumes doesn't know she's alive, while constantly having to rebuke the affections of nerdy freshman Ted, played by Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah, it's Ted. Don't let Ted's youngness and braces fool you.
Look
Dude's a pimp.
Looking at him today, I'm just like, I can't believe.
How is that face with this face?
It's so hard to, like, if you squint your eyes and tilt your head ever so slightly, you can see it a little. But it's just like, how is this man that kid?
It's just
I'm like, did he get facial surgery?
It's like his bone structure doesn't even
match up. So crazy. I'm like, how is that the same?
And then maybe it's because we didn't. I feel like I can't think of him as a teenager. Like I haven't only seen him as the oldest I've seen was Breakfast Club and an adult. Where's that middle? I don't know.
But even like Molly Ringwald, like she looks
same.
Like the face looks the same. The face looks so different.
You could. I
mean, the blonde hair and the blue eyes are still there, but everything else is just like,
what is that?
Where did this face come from?
Yeah, how'd you get here?
Google, for y'all who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, Google Anthony Michael Hall as a child and him today, and tell us that is not the same person.
It's not the same person.
Because it's not.
He's an industry plant.
It's weird. It's weird. Fun facts. The film was released May 4th, 1984. Primetime 80s, baby. The film was written and directed by John Hughes in his directorial debut.
Oh, this was
John Hughes is behind 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, and National Lampoon's Vacation, or whatever.
Random. I didn't know this was his debut. That makes sense. I guess I'm not thinking about it.
I think the National Lampoon, whatever that freaking movie, he wrote those. Okay. But he didn't direct them.
Oh, got it. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes. Okay, let's get into like casting and stuff. For the male lead in the film, it came down to the guy who was selected.
Okay.
What was his name? It was between the guy who was selected, which is Michael Scoffling, and some other dude whose name escapes me. Viggo Mortensen.
Is he a familiar actor?
You might know him. He was in The Lord of the Rings. Don't ask me what he played.
Oh wait, what's his name? Sorry.
Viggo, Viggo.
Viggo. Mortensen. Oh yeah, that guy.
Is it coming up? Mm-hmm. You know him?
Yeah, he's like, what's his name in the Lord of the Rings? He's a very popular guy.
Yeah, who's he playing in that movie?
Let's see. Aragorn.
What's Aragorn do?
He helps the hobbits.
He helps the little people.
Yeah, he helps them all.
So his, if you've ever seen these movies, the Indian Runner, Crimson Tide, Daylight, The Portrait of a Lady, G.I. Jane, A Perfect Murder,
28 Days,
A Walk on the Line, 28 Days. I know 28 Days.
Yeah.
That's a Sandra Bullock film.
Yes.
Now we're getting to something we know.
Right.
Anywho, okay. So it came down to those two, and then Molly Ringwald was like, I want Viggo. And then John Hughes was like, no.
Dang.
So
he would have worked.
What do you have?
Yeah.
I don't know what he looks like young, so I don't know him like that. But.
I mean, he looks good old, so yeah,
he does look good old. But
he would have worked. I think so. I mean, just a handsome guy. That's what we need.
Right.
to look off in the distance to really do much.
And then for the role of Ted, which is the nerd,
Yes.
the nerdy nerd played by Anthony Michael Hall, Hughes saw a number of actors for the role, including Jim Carrey.
What?
Yes. Keith Cogan, I don't know who that is, and Ralph Macchio. I think that's his name. Macchio, the Karate Kid. The dude from Karate Kid.
Okay.
But he said every single kid who came in to read for the part did the whole stereotypical high school nerd thing. You know, thick glasses, ballpoint pens in the pocket, white socks. But when Michael came in, he played it straight, like a real human being. I knew right at that moment that I found my geek.
Yeah, he's not a geek.
Yeah.
They literally, why do they have, they even put his name in here. On, like, when I looked up the cast, it says the geek. His name is Ted.
I know.
That's terrible.
Isn't it?
But yeah, he's like perfect for this role.
He is.
Because his friends are very geeky. Sometimes I'm like, why does he hang out with them?
But he's a loser too.
But he is, but he's cool. Like he's not gonna be hanging out with them.
Try hard.
He's not gonna be hanging out with them in like 2-3 years.
I mean, if he gets popular, no.
He will get popular.
I feel like there's always that one geeky friend group that has like the leader who's ambitious to be popular, but will never get there.
But
that's who he is.
He's so different from them. Like, they don't even try.
He's the type of character that won't peak in high school, but he'll peak.
Yeah.
Because that kid's got ambition. He's got drive. He's got drive.
But look at them. They're wearing, like, goggles. At least he's trying.
Which is crazy to me. What's crazy to me is that his geek friend, one of them, is played by John Cusack.
Handsome.
Or Cusick, whatever, however you say his last name, who is, like...
gorgeous.
Not gorgeous at all. I think he's very unattractive.
Oh, wow.
But is like also like a staple in like 80s films.
Yeah. Start from the bottom.
But anywho, okay. And then for the role of Sam, he was like looking through headshots, saw a couple of chicks. Saw the chick from Breakfast Club in there. The one who plays the weirdo, the klepto. Yeah. Saw her headshot, saw Molly Ringwald's headshot. I think the other girl came in and auditioned and everything. And he was like, no. And then
he's like, come back, stay with me in my head. Yeah. I got something for you.
And he was like, not for this, but maybe later.
Yeah.
Maybe later. But then he was like, he saw Molly and was like, it's her. She's got it.
I wonder
She's
if they're
got
like
the juice.
Are they like best friends? Because I feel like he's
oh, baby.
Are they? Do they talk every day or very often?
Well, he's dead now.
Okay,
he's no longer with us.
She prayed for him. I didn't know he died. Actually,
wow. She said, "Is he praying for him?" He died in like 2006, so he's been dead for some time. Let me actually look that up for me. When is his death date?
Sorry.
And what did he die of? I want to say it was like cancer, heart attack, something like that.
Let's see. Oh, he died.
Such a shame because I wonder like. Would he have made more like iconic like coming of age films? What did he die?
Sorry, death. He died at the age of 59. It's a heart attack.
I knew it.
He was in good health. Heart attack.
What year?
2009, August 5th.
Oh, 2009.
He's walking in Manhattan.
He was just walking the streets?
It says he was taking a walk close to his hotel on West 55th Street in Manhattan when he suffered a heart attack.
Dang.
He was rushed to Roosevelt Hospital where he was pronounced dead at the age 59.
That's tough.
That's crazy.
Well, he had a lot of time.
He had a wife, 2 children, and grandchildren.
Well, he had a lot of time to make more films and he didn't, so.
Yeah.
I guess he was done. Anywho, where am I? Okay. On April 6th, 2018,
yes, I remember.
Molly Ringwald wrote an article published by The New Yorker about her experiences from 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, and Pretty in Pink. Entitled...
I was like, damn, she wrote another one for 16 Candles? I was like, oh, she wrote one for everyone, but I didn't know it was combined.
No. Entitled, What About The Breakfast Club? Revisiting the movies of my youth in the age of Me Too. Because, 2018.
Yeah.
Height of the Me Too.
Breakfast Club is the worst one. Which one? There's a lot of subtle...
You could also make the argument that 16 Candles is
There's a lot of subtle ones, but I don't think any that happened to her besides Ted. Ted's a little
she really divulged, as a young child... we'll get there.
Okay.
Don't
forget.
Yeah. I'll bring it all back. This is just parts and pieces. I'm not reading the whole article. But then she talks about how she like, a meeting was arranged and we hit it off. She's talking about John Hughes. And I filmed 16 Candles in the suburbs of Chicago the summer after I completed 9th grade.
Huh?
Once we were done shooting and before we began the filming of The Breakfast Club, John wrote another movie specifically for me.
Okay.
Pretty in Pink, about a working class girl navigating the social prejudices of affluent high school. The film's dramatic arc involves getting invited and then uninvited to prom.
She was uninvited to prom?
Yeah, we'll move on from that. That was just our intro. Okay, moving on. So next she talks about 16 Candles. She brings up The Breakfast Club and the inappropriate stuff that happens in there. Then she gets to 16 Candles. If I sound overly critical, it's only with hindsight. Back then, I was only vaguely aware of how inappropriate much of John's writing was. Given my limited experience in what was considered normal at the time, I was well into my 30s before I stopped considering verbally abusive men more interesting than the nice ones. She's saying that because she was talking about how in The Breakfast Club, John Boehner's character.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's why she said that. I'm a little embarrassed to say that it took even longer for me to fully comprehend the scene late in 16 Candles when the dreamboat Jake essentially trades his drunk girlfriend, Caroline, to the geek to satisfy the later sexual urges in return for Samantha's underwear. The geek takes Polaroids with Caroline to have proof of his conquest. When she wakes up in the morning with someone she doesn't know, he asks her if she enjoyed it. Neither of them seem to remember much.
When did he get drunk?
Caroline shakes her head in wonderment and says, "You know, I have this weird feeling I did."
That's not how to go.
She had to have a feeling about it rather than a thought, because thoughts are things we have when we are conscious. And she was not.
Right.
Thinking about that scene, I became curious about how the actress who played Caroline, Hovland Morris, felt about the character she portrayed. So I sent her an email. We hadn't seen or spoken to each other since she was 23 and I was 15.
Whoa.
We met for coffee, and after we had filled each other in on our intervening years, I asked her about it. Hovland, whatever her name is, I was surprised to learn, did not have the same issue with the scene as I did. In her mind, Carolyn bears some responsibility for what happens because of how drunk she gets at the party.
At the party.
Be for real. I'm not saying that it's okay, says the chick who plays Caroline, to then be raped or to have non-consensual sex. Haviland clarified, but that's not a one-way street. Here's a girl who gets herself so bombed that she doesn't even know what's going on.
Well, everyone did
No.
Right.
No. Don't defend.
No, I'm not defending her. I'm just saying, like, that's not... Because that's what we're doing.
Right.
Doesn't mean, like, you could do it.
Yeah, I get drunk, so that means I'm an open invitation for rape and assault? I don't think so. There was a time in my early 20s when I had too much to... This is Molly now. There was a time in my early 20s when I had too much to drink at a party and ended up in a bedroom sitting on the edge of a bed with a producer I didn't know, lightheaded and woozy. A good friend who had followed me popped her head in the door a couple of minutes later and announced, "Time to go now, Molly." I followed her out, trying not to stumble, and spent the rest of the night violently ill and embarrassed, and the rest of my life grateful that she had been there watching out for me when I was temporarily incapable of watching out for myself.
Right.
I shared that story with Hovland, whatever the hell her name is, and she listened politely and nodded. Hovland, like me, has children, and so I decided to frame the question hypothetically, mother to mother, to see if it changed her point of view. If our kids had too much to drink and something like that happened to one of them, would she say, "It's not on you because you drank it's on you because you drank too much"? She shook her head. No, absolutely, positively. It stays in your pants until invited by someone who is willing and consciously able to invite you to remove it. Still, she added, I'm not going to black and white it. It isn't a one-way street. After our coffee, I responded to an email from Evelyn to thank her for agreeing to talk to me. Later that night, I received another note. You know, she wrote, Evelyn, whatever her name is. The more I think of it this evening, oddly, the less uncomfortable I am with Caroline. Jake was disgusted with her and said he could violate her 17 ways if he wanted to because she was so trashed, but he didn't. Then Ted was the one who had to ask if they had sex, which certainly doesn't demonstrate responsible behavior from either party, but also doesn't really spell date rape. On the other hand, she was basically traded for a pair of underwear. John Hughes.
See, I never thought about it. And he was traded her for underwear.
And this is what I was gonna bring up. This is my point that you said. Don't forget. I feel like as a youngster, watching this film, as like Molly said herself, she never really understood the gravity of the situation. Watching this movie as a 15, 16-year-old, you don't really get what you don't really fully understand it. And as you continue watching it, since that's how you viewed it when you're like 15, 16, you kind of carry on that same viewpoint. Then when someone breaks it down for you, like, he says I could violate her if I wanted to.
I hate that part. I'm like,
but hey, give me these panties and I'll let you take my girlfriend and you're free to do whatever the hell you want with her. That? Basically, he doesn't say that, but he's like, hey, I tell you what, you give me Molly's panties or Sam's panties, I'll let you take Carolyn home for the night. That's what he says.
Yeah, I guess.
So weird. What does that mean? Like, drive her home, rape her? Who knows?
Right.
But he said I could violate her 17 ways.
That part, I was like, whoa, dude.
Like, whoa, what a...
Yes. Also,
then he asks, Farmer Ted asks, he goes, well, why don't you?
He's
like, why don't you? Like, this is what we should be doing. Like, good point. Why don't you
just
go have sex with your corpse girlfriend? We're all into narcolepsy here. Or no, not narcolepsy. Necrophilia?
Yes.
Necrophilia. Sex with dead people.
Yeah. What's narcolepsy? Oh, it's when
narcolepsy is when you fall asleep.
Yes. But yes, good stuff.
Okay, yeah, just a little bit more. Okay, so then she goes on. She talks about her relationship with John. She says she believed that she was his muse for a time, but not for forever.
No, so they're not friends.
And then she goes on to say, John believed in me and in my gifts as an actress more than anyone else I've known. And he was the first person to tell me I had to write and direct one day. He was a phenomenal grudge keeper, and he could respond to perceived rejection in such a way the same that you could describe the character of Bender.
Wait, what?
She was saying he was a grudge keeper, and he responded to rejection in the same way the character of John Bender. So he didn't perceive rejection well.
Oh. What? When did she reject him? Why did she figure that out?
I don't know if she's saying... I think she's just saying, like, in general, like, he didn't, men. He
was Bender deep down inside.
Right.
Jesus.
But I'm not thinking about the man right now, but of the films that he left behind. Films that I am proud of in so many ways. Films that, like his earlier writing, though to a much lesser extent, could also be considered racist, misogynistic, and at times homophobic. The word FAG and FAGGOT are tossed around with abundance. The character of Long Duck Dong in 16 Candles is a grotesque stereotype, as other writers have detailed far more eloquently than I could.
Just why? Why?
Then in the movie, every time he pops up, there's a gong.
There's
a gong in the background.
The gong.
I'm like, God damn it.
Guys.
I'm like, whoa.
The
gong is way too much.
But why does Long Duck Dong even need to be in the film? He just felt like throwing an Asian racist stereotype in the film.
Like, why? Yeah.
Why? That is one. I was like, whoa.
But yeah, I highly recommend everyone read the full article that she published in the New Yorker. Once again, it's entitled, What About the Breakfast Club? Revisiting the Movies of My Youth in the Age of the Me Too Movement. Published April 6, 2018. It's a great article. I remember when it came out, I read the whole thing. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. This is what I live for. articles like this. I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I remember. You remember? Yeah. She didn't read it.
I didn't read it.
It's fine. But after all of that,
that's not all your fun facts, your background. Nope.
That's all. And then let's just go through the cast.
I'm gonna do box office.
So everybody. Oh yes, everybody knows who we're talking about. Oh yeah, I forgot about the box office.
The 80s, 10 mil. No budget.
Budget.
Budget 10 mil.
Fuck, I don't remember. No, that's not right.
Higher.
You're close though.
12 million.
You're too high.
Oh, $8 million.
You're closer than what you were before.
5.
$6.3 million.
Hey, nothing. I guess it's the 80s.
Box office.
40 million.
No.
50.
Not quite.
Nobody saw it. 70.
No.
People weren't eating
You're
it
too
up.
high.
Damn, 20 million?
23.6.
Y'all broke us something? Why you gonna see the 16 Candles?
I think that's a good for the 80s. Like, I think that's a lot.
I guess. I don't know what they were doing.
They made their profit, you know.
They did make their profit. And that's what
I just would like to point out that during the hype of her career, this woman was on the cover of Time magazine. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She was on the cover of Time magazine.
The it girl.
Because of this man. Who was obsessed with her.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I wonder if he was in love with her. Probably.
Secretly. Maybe he's probably in love with the idea of her.
Yeah.
But not her. You know how they be.
Okay.
And then characters.
Oh, yeah. Casting characters. Molly Ringwald as Samantha Sam Baker. Anthony Michael Hall as Farmer Ted Farmer / The Geek. Michael Schofling as Jake Ryan. Haviland Morris as Caroline Mulford, which is Jake Ryan's girlfriend. Jed Watanabe as Long Duck Dong. Leanne Curtis as Randy, her bestie. And that's about it.
Okay. Cool.
Let's begin.
Ooh, I'm about to dive in.
So the movie begins with a somewhat chaotic morning. Chaotic morning. And that morning at the Baker family home, everyone's waking up as it is the day before the oldest daughter Jenny's wedding. The in-laws are coming in town. Everyone's trying to get dressed and ready for school.
And we're introduced to everybody. We're introduced to the mom, the dad, the little brother, the little sister, Jenny, who's getting married. Jeannie, who's getting married. And then while everyone's downstairs rushing and all that, we see Sam in her room, who is awakened on her 16th birthday, hoping to be transformed into a new, improved woman.
Where my titties
with
at?
Breasts.
Where my boobies?
And booty. And a flat stomach. Well, probably not booty. Because it's the 80s and she's white. But boobs!
Boobs. That's all I want, Jesus Lord.
But she's disappointed to see that she looks the exact same as the day before, because that's not how.
Which is crazy. So she was actually
works.
She was actually 15.
15, yeah.
That's crazy. I would have thought she was older.
Right.
That's so crazy.
She does look older.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, girl.
So she's on the phone with her best friend, Randy, and she's like, gotta go. My parents and family are probably upset that I haven't let them wish me happy birthday yet.
Pissed.
And then so she walks downstairs.
Hunty. Her
mom is, acting as if it's a normal, regular day. She's like, I didn't have time to make your carrots today. I'm sorry. You're going to have to buy school lunch.
Did you forget my birthday? You forgot my lunch?
You forgot my freaking carrots?
My carrots. Literally, take it from one bag and put it in another bag, Mom. Add ranch. You're a terrible mother.
So everyone's maneuvering and operating as if it's a normal day. Her dad's like, where's my briefcase? I'm going to be late. Her little brother's doing the same little brother routine that he does. And then she's just sitting there in silence.
Hello.
And then she's like, so y'all don't have anything to say to me today? And then her mom's like, what will we have to say to you today?
Now, see, that is messed up. I feel like I went downstairs and I'm like, y'all don't want to tell me nothing? Y'all be like, oh, today's your birthday.
Right.
The fact that she's like giving hunts. Nothing. They're like, girl, get out the door.
And she's like, her mom's like, you're going to be late for school. Like, I don't have time for your antics. Right. Go.
If there was only 3 children, she would definitely be the middle child. But luckily, there's 4, so I don't know how that math goes.
Literally,
how that math goes, but
yeah,
it's giving middle child.
Yeah,
syndrome.
It's definitely giving. She's the middle child of the girls, so
yes.
I guess that's how that goes.
There we go.
So everyone has completely forgotten her birthday, and she is stunned. So, when she arrives at school and she meets up with Randy, she is complaining to her how they forgot it, and Randy is like, well, it's your sister's wedding tomorrow. It's not that big of a deal. And then Sam is like, what?
Right.
I'm 16. It's my 16th birthday. I've been thinking about this day ever since I was 12.
Right. In some cultures have quinceañeras. Is bat mitzvahs 16? I don't know.
That's 13.
13? Okay, sorry. But I should be
quinceañeras is 15 too.
It's not 16?
It's 15.
Jesus.
So really American
it's
culture
only 16.
is just 16.
But this is a very big day. Okay, fine. Super sweet 16.
In American culture.
Yes, MTV.
This is a big deal.
Right.
This is the teenage year.
I can't believe Randy was like, it's not that big of a deal. Who are we?
Are we not friends?
Are we not friends?
Because you clearly don't.
Do you hate me? Because I haven't heard you say happy birthday.
And it's upsetting.
Where's my flowers? Where's my gift?
So while Sam is venting, she's going on about how she's been dreaming of this day since she was 12 years old. And how she's always dreamed that she would wake up on her birthday to a pink Trans Am, a hot guy, and they would have sex on a cloud and she wouldn't get pregnant or anything like that.
Thank you.
Then Randy's just like, yeah, I agree. And then Randy, I would like to point out this scene is very racist. This is another racist scene. Oh. So Randy's like, oh yeah, you wake up to your pink Trans Am, a hot guy, and you'll have sex on the cloud and you don't get pregnant. And then Sam goes, well, I don't need the cloud. And then Randy goes, just the pink Trans Am and the guy, right? And then Sam goes, black. And then Randy goes, a black guy? And then Sam says, no, a pink a black Trans Am, a pink guy. But I say all that to say she was like, a black guy?
We don't even know any black people. She's like, where did you find him at?
She said, no, a pink guy, a black Trans Am.
She said,
racist.
She looks Spanish to damn self.
The first racist scene we've seen in here.
Not the last. So Sam now has left Randy behind, and she's off to independent study. And we see her in class, and she's filling out. Actually, she goes to class with Randy. Excuse me, but anyway, they're in independent study. Sam is taking a sex quiz that one of her friends gave her. We see questions like, "Have you ever had sex?" She replies, "I don't know." Are you willing to have sex? Yes. If yes, then with whom? And she says, Jake
Ryan,
who's sitting right behind her. She actually peeks back at him. She's like, yeah, for sure, Jake Ryan.
And then he sees her looking at him.
Damn, girl, why you was staring at me weird?
I think it's very interesting. I just feel like after that one moment of her looking at, he's instantly like in love with her.
I feel like he's probably like,
he's curious.
Well, he's probably seen her do it a while.
Right.
I don't know why. So she's a sophomore. Jake Ryan's a senior. Why do they have independent study together?
That's what I was trying to figure out too.
Anywho, so
that's so weird. You can't intermingle classes in grades like that.
Exactly.
What?
Recipe for disaster. So Sam finishes her quiz,
and she was supposed to give it to Randy.
So that Randy
who's sitting behind her. So she folds up the note,
as you would.
She puts it behind her back
secretly
and drops it, assuming that Randy would see it and pick it up. But Randy
passed out,
is asleep,
knocked out.
And then so Jake, bearing witness to all this because, he just caught Molly or Sam, giving him googly eyes.
He messy.
So he sees the note drop to the floor. He sees Randy not picking it up because she's asleep. So he takes it amongst himself to pick that note up.
Mine's. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do.
Gotcha, bitch. So after independent study, Sam and Randy walk out. And Sam's like, you didn't get the note that I passed to you? She's like, no, I'm sorry.
She's like, I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it. She's like, I was supposed to give it to you so you could give it to the girl and PE, blah, 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 blah. And she's mortified and embarrassed that, like, someone out there has this note, but, like, she didn't put her name on it. But still, the idea of someone has this note with your deepest, darkest secrets on it is embarrassing. And only if she knew that Jake was the one that picked it up, she would probably vomit.
Yeah, and then so as they're walking and they're talking about the note, Sam also reveals to Randy that she put on the note that if she could do it with anybody, that it would be Jake Ryan. Yes. And then Randy was like, bitch, get for real.
Right.
Like, come on. He doesn't even know you exist. He's out of your league. Forget about it. Randy's kind of a shitty friend.
Oh, she's realistic.
She's a realist.
I give her this one, the birthday one. I'm like, come on, Randy. But this one, I'm like,
I give
come
her.
On, girl.
No, I give her the. Well,
I don't give her the birthday one. Like, come on.
Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of give her both.
You give her both, okay? Like, so you don't mind that she said both of these things that we're saying?
Yeah, okay. I feel like in her saying, well, it's not that big of a deal, as in a way of her trying to make her feel better. Like,
I guess, yeah.
Like, oh, like it's not that big of a deal.
Right. She was like, your sister's wedding's tomorrow. I'm sure if it wasn't for that,
yeah,
they would love you. And
like, like, don't take offense to it, But anywho, so she reveals to her that, Jake Ryan's name was on it, and Randy's like, get for real, get real. LOL. That's not happening.
She said LOL.
LOL.
Meanwhile, Jake is in P class, I presume.
Right.
And he's
talking to this guy who probably in real life is probably about 35 years old.
Yes. His name is Rock.
Playing a senior. What's his name?
Rock.
How you got his name? They say his name?
I think so. I wrote it down in the notes. So at one point I found it out. Or maybe Wikipedia told me that, Wikipedia.
It had to
either come up with stuff or they tell you it.
Well, he's talking to one of his male counterpart classmates. And he asks him, hey, what's his name?
Rock.
What do you think of Samantha Baker? To which he replies, I don't. And
period. Which is respectful. I'm a senior. I do not think about this stuff. Thank you.
I really like that answer. He's like, I don't.
No, I don't.
Like, I'm a senior. And I look like I'm 40.
I'm surprised he knew who she was.
Yeah.
That's enough for you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm a senior. I'm graduating soon.
Like, why would I even have the time of day to think about who that is?
Jake, on the other hand, is
and then Jake is like, she's not ugly.
She's not.
And then, what's his name?
Rock.
Rock replies, it's not about her being pretty or ugly. He's like, there's nothing there.
Right. She's immature.
Like void. She's got no body. She's got no tits.
She can't party.
She can't party.
Which is stupid, but yes.
And then
Rock.
Like
a rock.
That's so stupid. Rock is trying to, reason with Jake and be like, why are you even asking me about this chick? Like, why are you even asking about her?
What's going on?
And then Jake is like, well, I see her. I have independent study with her, and I always catch her looking at me.
She's stalking me.
It's kind of cool the way that she's always looking at me. And then Rock is like, dude, get for real.
Right. Do you need attention? What's going on?
Like, she can't party, serious. And then Jake is like, well, maybe I don't want a girl who always parties. And he was like, but you have Carolyn. Now that's a real woman.
Right. I agree and disagree with Rock. Because, why are you looking at the sophomore? She isn't mature. She's a sophomore. Right. You're a senior. You're going to college.
Right.
Try again. But then he's like, she can't party. I'm like, well, that's not the reason why.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
There's a couple of reasons before she can't party. Because anyone can party at this point. Right. All she is doing is getting really drunk at your dad's place.
Right.
Anyone can do that. But why are you looking at a sophomore? Absolutely. What's going on?
And then, so their conversation kind of, ends.
Yeah.
And then cut to, we now see Randy and Sam in the girls' locker room watching Carolyn take a shower.
Naked.
And we see her naked and we see her boobies.
Yes.
And they're talking about how popular she is and how full-figured she is and how everyone loves her because even though she's the most popular girl in school, and that means you're supposed to be evil and vile, that she's actually nice. And then her little brother is deaf. So she has depth to her because she has a deaf little brother.
She's got empathy somewhere too.
She has value.
But I will say, after watching this, I don't think I used to like Caroline, or maybe I didn't pay attention to her.
But she's nice.
Love her.
Her character is so
Period.
nice.
That's a woman. She is a woman.
She really is.
She's confident.
When Rock was like, "Now that's a woman.
That's a woman."
She literally is
Rock,
a woman.
Rock, pull up.
Rock,
you
why
understand?
She need to be dating Rock because Rock know what she got.
Go find her. Right, because
he recognizes.
Confident, nice,
a sweetheart.
Yes. The only thing she did wrong is be a little childish about the whole party thing, but that's it. But she young.
She's young.
I want to party.
Grow out of that. She'll grow out of that.
That's what she's supposed to be doing, party. This nigga
And Rock likes
this. There's a white boy is in senior. He's like, I don't want to party anymore. So you're going to college. What you think about to do up there?
Right.
Study?
Right.
Your rich daddy. Get out my face.
Get out of here. Be for real.
Caroline. That's a woman. He just wanted some more attention, and he wanted a little girl. You little creepy.
Right.
He wanted a little
girl. You little weirdo.
A little nasty.
So they're admiring Carolyn from afar, and they're basically just, envious of her and everything that she has.
Right. And Sam, especially because, she got her man.
Yes.
But now it's after school, and we see Sam and Randy, taking the bus home. It's full of nerds and losers, and they're like, why God, why are we in this situation? We should be driving home with hot guys, but we're not there yet. So Randy gets dropped off. She's like, Sam, go home. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Have a good night. And then
it's not good for your complexion, she tells her.
Yes.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
And then we meet Ted for the first time.
Yes. So now Sam is like the last person on the bus, and she's on the
her
bus.
Ted Braceface.
And this girl with like headgear. God. Who I think is like low-key famous now. Like she's done well for herself as an actress. We've seen her before.
Her ability to do stuff in this movie pisses me off.
Or lack thereof.
Yes. She's like, how do I drink water from a water fountain? How do I swim?
Because she has headgear on.
Jade. She's like, how do I drink a drink? I'm like, girl. She's like, are you serious?
It's supposed to be funny.
Are you serious? I was like, she's killing me.
Supposed to be funny.
But she's acting like she lost a leg. Like,
she probably just got the headgear.
Get a straw. Get a straw. Grab a cup. Figure this out. She's like, how do I get water out of a water fountain?
LOL.
How are you surviving? Anywho. But it's them three.
So he walks up to her and immediately is harassing her.
Yes.
And asks her questions like,
you going to prom tonight?
Are you going to the dance tonight? We could go together. And she's like, get away from me.
Yes. So he's a freshman too. So he's a freshman. She's a sophomore, which is closer in age than senior.
Which is true, but nonetheless, he's not her type.
Not her type.
And he's coming off very strong. Very strong.
He has braces. He's really teeny tiny.
She calls him the F word.
Ooh, to his face.
Which was, he was like, and I'm detecting some very serious hostility coming from you right now.
Yes.
And then she tells him to go die.
Yeah.
And then
I think he asks if she has a boyfriend. She's like, yeah, really big, really big
one. And he loves, nerd blood. So please get away from me. And then so she makes her way off the bus and he ultimately is in love.
Yeah. That's not enough to deter him, hunty. So at home, after, a long day of being denied happy birthdays and seeing my crush's hot girlfriend, Sam is ready to relax. She heads up to her room, and unfortunately, she sees her grandparents just getting dressed in her room. And she discovers that they would be sleeping in her room for the wedding. Could you imagine coming home from a long day?
Your parents forgot your birthday, and then they don't tell you, like, hey, your grandparents have to sleep in your room.
Why would you not tell me that? I'd be blowed.
I would have the world's biggest heart. At that point, if I was Sam, and I would have blew that shit up.
It's my birthday.
The way I would have lost my shit, I would have started knocking everything. They would have got it. Ooh, they would have got it. They would have got it. They would have got it.
Exactly. They need to get a hotel. Why is this house the Holiday Inn?
Because it shouldn't be.
Both sets of our grandparents are alive.
Both of them. And when I was watching this movie, I was like, wow, that's really a blessing.
Right. No, it is.
How rare is that?
Who's do you think the mom is old people? Or
I think the ones who are staying in her room, I think those are the dads.
Okay.
And I think the like moms. More sleazy ones are the moms.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Which one do you like more? Obviously the sleazy grandparents.
Yes. They're the fun ones.
Yes. So anywho, Sam goes upstairs. She finds her grandparents there. They also do not realize today is her birthday. They're just like, hello, hey, Sam.
So she speaks to them, and then she tries to even drop a hint to them. She's like, well, hey, guys, I haven't seen y'all in a long time. Do I look different at all today? And they're like, nope, you look the exact same. And they start going on and talking about the wedding and Gina, whatever her name is, and how
oh, she's always so cold, and she's probably not going to wear a jacket on her wedding day. Did
it really say that?
Random crap that grandparents talk about. And then she's like, okay, well, I guess it's time for me to make my exit.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the other room that I'm sleeping in, which I'm assuming is, she's like, okay, I guess I'm going to sleep in my little brother's room. So let me go head down there to relax after a long day at school.
So as she's heading to go to her brother's room, to where she thinks that is where she will now be sleeping, she runs into her other set of grandparents.
Cool ones. A little younger.
The cool ones.
They smoke. They laugh.
Yeah, they're a little bit younger.
They probably start drinking at like 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Standard.
He's got, the mom smokes, the dad's got a raspy voice.
Yeah.
And then, he makes those weird, inappropriate jokes. So they come out and they're like, oh my goodness, Sammy, haven't seen you in ages. Yada, yada, yada. She tells them, hey. Then the grandmother is like, oh my goodness. And what's his name? Fred, Dan, Steve, who cares? John, will you look at her breast?
He's like,
they're perkier than ever. He's like, oh, well, let me get my magnifying glass.
LOL. You're funny.
And then she's like, and oh my God, they're so perky. And then what does she do? She touches them. She fills her up. And this is just icing on the cake.
I don't know how you would grab.
Like, oh, they're so perky. Let me touch them.
Like, I feel like when I was younger, there'd be mom's friends used to be like, oh, she's getting boobs and stuff like that, but I don't think they ever touched them.
No, because it's not appropriate. I mean, I guess your grandmother, that's fine, but anything further removed than that, that's like not okay.
So at this point, Sam is mortified.
Completely.
She heads to her brother's room. She lays down on the bunk bed and she's like, oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. And then to her surprise, she sees an Asian man pop out on top of, the bed on top of her. And he's like, how's it going, pretty lady? Or something like that.
And she's just like, well, what could possibly be going on here now? And she screams out of terror because, who is this random human being in my bed or my house who I've never seen before?
And then she heads downstairs. She sees her mom, and her mom's like, "Oh yeah, that is Long Duck Dong, and he's a foreign exchange student that's staying at the older grandparents' home.
The dad's parents.
Yeah, the dad's parents. The really grandparents.
Which is really weird because typically, when you have a foreign exchange student, you exchange children.
Oh, true. Right.
So why do they just
don't have any children?
Because it would
they do have children, but yes.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have any children in high school. So it makes sense if, like, Sam's parents were like, hosting Long Duck Dong. And then Sam went to China. Mm-hmm. They don't have that. So I'm just like, where did y'all randomly adopt this, like, Asian kid from China?
Slavery.
No, literally when they were at the dinner, I was like, this is slavery.
You guys found an Asian man. It was like, come live with us.
Get this little kid from this country and then make him work stuff and do the things that we don't want to do.
Exactly.
We don't have.
They literally got a caretaker.
Yes,
for free.
And I was like, oh, this is
okay.
This is getting more and more racist.
And mind you, when they first say Long Duck Dong's name, the
dong, we heard
boom in the background. Ouch. So after Sam learns about this foreign exchange student that's staying in her house, she realized that she must sleep on the pull-out sofa on her birthday. Happy 16th birthday, girlfriend. Why did anyone tell her?
Couch City, baby.
Why did anyone tell her?
Who knows?
That a foreign, like, no one,
not about her.
At the very least, a foreign exchange student that's coming.
Right. None of this information was divulged.
Yes. So later on in the evening, Sam goes to talk to her sister, Jenny. I'll say
not
Jenny.
Jenny, but Genie in a bottle.
Who we can clearly tell is self-absorbed. She's blonde, which I'm not really sure where she.
And I don't know. She talks like she's on
muscle relaxers the whole time.
Right.
She kind of reminds me of like a Playboy model. I don't know. I just feel like she's got that flowy blonde hair. I feel like she should be like posing in front of something and being like, ha, ha, ha.
Like when I think of an airhead or someone who literally is just like vapid, it's her. Like just like even the way she talks, it was just like, hi, I'm getting married tomorrow.
Yes.
It was driving me insane. I was like, oh my God, please shut up. But anywho, so they're having like a chat and she's going on and on about her wedding and how she's dated guys before who have loved her, but never like the guy who she's getting married to. And for so long, a total of 6 months.
Craziness.
Absurd.
Absurd.
Absurd. She's like, and I've had guys who've loved me before, but not for 6 months long.
Is anyone gonna stop this?
Like no one's gonna
be like, let's wait.
No one's gonna put it into this.
And then Sam, you know, as you would do when you're talking to someone, you express your feelings. She's like, well, I'm also in love with someone, but he doesn't know that I exist.
And then her sister's like, Sam, I really don't have time for this
Please
right now.
Shut the hell up.
I'm getting married tomorrow, and you're making this all about you.
She's like, what?
And then Sam was like, well, excuse me, I'm sorry. I listen to the guys and all your boyfriends
all the
that
time.
you talk about all the time.
You have so many.
And then Jeannie basically goes, is something going on with you? Because you're kind of acting like an asshole.
She calls her jealous, selfish, and immature.
And then
it's her birthday.
Sam is like, you know what? I'm done with all you bitches. Like, I'm getting out of here. And she's like, you know what? You're right. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to walk away now.
I'm going to go.
I'm going to go.
So later on that night is dinner time. And the family's all gathered around. And we just, the picture of the film is like zoomed in on Long Duck Dong. And they zoom out and we can see the whole family's just like watching him in awe.
At him.
Which is rude.
Like he's an
as he's eating, he's not even doing anything.
Zoo, right? He's literally not doing anything out of the ordinary.
So yeah, they're basically enamored with him, and then this is when we learn that the grandparents he's staying at basically treat him as a slave because he mows the lawn, he does the laundry, helps with the dishes. I'm sure he does whatever they tell him to.
Right.
So he helps around the house a lot. Is he in school? Like, what is he?
What is he even? Right? What is he even doing?
Yes, I wonder where they're from. Like, what part are they even from? So he's basically just there for slave labor.
Free labor.
Unfortunately. At this point, Sam's like, you know what, guys? I have to run off. Tonight's a school dance.
Gotta go, gotta blast.
Gotta blast.
And then the grandmother who is hosting Long Duck Dong is basically like, well, you know what? You and Long Duck Dong, Sam, are about the same age. You should bring him to the dance with you. And Sam is like, absolutely not.
Great. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to
me.
me.
Strange boy with me.
So she, unfortunately for her, brings him.
He can't even come to the school dance?
That's what
rules?
My reaction would have been like, he can't come because it's for students who go to the school.
Yeah.
That would have been her way out.
That's what she should have
said.
But
she didn't take it.
She didn't take it. So next we see Sam has arrived at the dance with Randy. Don't know where Long Duck Dawn is right now, but it's just them two who arrive in. And she immediately is being watched by Ted and his freshman friends. And Ted tells them...
One being John Cusack.
Yes. And Ted tells them that he has a relationship with Sam, and of course they don't believe him. And he bets them by the end of the night he's gonna hook up with her. And he's gonna prove that they are a thing.
And how he will win that wager is by acquiring her underpants.
Yes,
her underwear. And so he makes the deal with his friends, and now he's on a mission to get her draws.
He's on a mission, honey. And then while that's going off to the side, Sam spots Jake slow dancing with his girlfriend, Caroline. And she cannot take her freaking eyes off him. It is kind of creepy. And at this point, Jake catches her staring at him, and he's like, ah, ooh, ooh. And then when Sam sees that he's seeing her, she runs off.
She's got to stop doing that.
Yes, she's got to stop doing that. And she tries to run off, and then here comes Ted trying to dance with her. He's like, "Hey, shawty," and he dances in front of her,
twerking on her.
Yes,
and he's like busting a move, and he's really getting into it. Yeah. He does a split. I don't know if he notices, but he gets down, he does the split, and then he farts.
No, he does not.
He farts, and then she runs off because she runs off into tears.
Yes.
And then he gets up and he's like, "Excuse me." Didn't mean to do that.
No, I did. Oh wait, I'm going to go back and watch it.
The only reason why I know because the subtitles said it.
Farts.
And that's why he says, excuse me.
Oh, wait, no, I never caught that. That's hilarious.
So he's not really, he farted.
Oh my god! So he's really embarrassed at him and her. It's just like, sir.
So then,
also the dance we see, Long Duck Dong. I don't. Was it after 5 minutes that he found this girl? He
what is he at the dance for? No more than like 5 freaking seconds, and he's already got a girlfriend.
Locked and loaded.
Amazon.
Marilyn.
She's an Amazon. She's like freaking 5'11".
Yes.
Maybe 6 foot. Mm-hmm. His head literally touches her boobs.
Yeah. She does one of those sports. What's that thing when you like have the ball in your hand and you throw it really far? That's
whatever the Trunchbull did.
Yes, that's what I think.
Javelin.
Yeah.
And hammer
she throws
throw.
something really far.
Yeah, she's like she does one of those sports.
Yeah, she's definitely throwing things.
Yeah.
So like she's very tall. She might be 6 foot tall. He's like 5. Not that short, but she's tall as hell, and he's very short.
His head is literally touching her boobs.
It is.
And they're dancing on the dance floor, and they're like in love. It's like love at first sight.
Done deal. So Sam is out in the hallway. She's crying, and once
she's run off after Ted was dancing on her, then farted, and then she's run out to the hallway and she's crying. Of course.
And to make matters worse, she runs into Caroline, Jake's girlfriend, and she's super nice to her.
So nice to her.
She's like, how's it hanging?
She's like, hey girl, how's it going?
She's like, fine.
She's like, fine.
Hate you.
Why are you so nice? Why are you so nice?
Like she's sitting on the floor, and like the popular girl's like, hey, how are you doing?
But it's the fact that she even spoke to her.
Yes.
Because if this was Regina George, she would have spit on her.
Yeah, she'd be like, move it, loser.
Right. She would have made matters worse.
Yes.
She would have found a way.
So after this, she heads back into the dance, and she's sitting with her friends, and then once again, Ted comes to bother her.
Again. She's just trying to mind her business, relax, get over the night.
It's her birthday.
She's chilling on the bleachers with her friends, and here he comes.
Yes. Her friends are none to play with.
They're not nice to Ted at all.
Randy's like, beat it. And I don't know what the guy friends
I don't know where he came
He's like, I'll bust you in your head, bud. He didn't say that, but that's the vibe he's giving. I wanted more of him. Where did he come from? Who's he dating?
I did not want more of him.
I love him. I was like, Randy, are y'all hooking up? Because good for you.
And then Ted turns to Sam and is like, hey, do you want to like split with me? I don't know. They're talking like 80s talk. Mm-hmm. So like the language is weird. And he says something about like, do you want to split? And then Sam turns to Randy and she's like, I can't take this anymore. And gets up and leaves. But Ted, being so enamored with his own like thoughts and conversation, is going on and on and on and on. And thinks he's still talking to Sam. But then he eventually turns around and sees that she's gotten up and she has left.
She gone.
And he's like, oh.
Okay.
Where'd she go?
So, Sam is hanging out in the shop room now, and to get some privacy.
How'd she even get in there?
I don't know. She's like sitting in like a car that's
half assembled.
Yeah, so I'm sure.
Did they have that going on in school?
Real life shop class.
Wow.
It's like don't know. Greece. It's like one of the movies that have shop class. I don't know.
In Greece, I feel like that's the only movie where I've seen
Greece.
It. Like they're literally, I cannot imagine going to a school where like we're assembling a
car. Right? They kind of mentioned in a Breakfast Club, not a car, but like doing like a lamp, which I couldn't do.
Yeah, but that was
bare minimum. Yeah. But that makes more sense than a freaking car. Like Jesus,
she's sitting in a car that's literally half assembled.
Just pretty cool.
Which is cool. Yeah,
trying to get some peace of mind, and of course,
I guess that's what they used to do in the 80s. They used to have like the trade stuff.
Yes, they should bring that back.
Yeah, they should.
Because not everyone wants to go to college and work a 9 to 5 and work for Ted, who hates his wife and just takes all his anger out on you. So Ted, his name is Ted. So Sam's hanging out in the car, trying to get some peace and quiet. Here comes Ted again.
To bother her again. But he hops in the car with her, and then he apologizes to Sam about dancing with her in the gym. And then Sam starts opening up and kind of like confiding in him and telling him that it's her birthday. And he's like, oh my God, happy birthday. And then she like tells him that her entire family forgot. They kind of just like blew it off. And
the nerve of them. Then Ted shares his biggest secret is that he's never slept with a woman.
Which isn't
who knew?
Secret.
Who knew? I would have never thought.
We would have never. Who would have guessed that?
Who would have guessed that?
A nerdy freshman.
Despite his reputation of being, cool and sly,
he's actually never done it before.
Yes.
And then so Sam laughs in his face, and she apologizes. But for whatever reason, Ted sees this as like an invitation
to start making out.
like try to hook up with her. And she's like, "Get off of me!"
He tries to climb.
He literally like mounts
ass.
her.
Like
he literally like jumped. It was so weird. I was like,
so
what is
tiny.
That? He literally like climbs. On
Yes,
top of her.
like sir, not even leaning for a kiss. He was like, "Wow!"
And then she's like, "Get off of me!" And then
he apologizes.
And she's like, "It's okay." And so he does it again.
He's like, oh. He tries again.
And then she was like, "I said it was okay that you did it the first time. Not okay, do it again."
Yeah, that's not an invitation, you ass. He's like, "Okay, sorry. I get it.
And then I guess he's finally taking no for an answer. And then
she's like, "You know what? I really don't want to hurt your feelings. You're being so nice and listening to me, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Yeah, I have no problem listening to you. I know I come off as like the king of, ladies and coolness, but I just do that, for my friends. Like, I'm actually a cool guy. Like, I like listening to you talk. I'm not like this big macho man that you think that I am." She's like, "Okay, yeah."
She's like, "Okay, yeah, sure."
He's just like, "I act like a sleazeball to impress my friends, basically, because I'm the leader of the group, and I have to do what I have to do."
And I think he asked her something to the effect of like,
"Would it be totally off the wall if I asked if I could have sex with you?"
You asking me is not as off the wall as why I won't.
BD?
No, I'm sort of saving myself. It's really stupid. He doesn't even know I exist.
Oh.
Jake Ryan.
You like Jake? Jake's my boy! I just talked to Jake in the gym. He asked me about you.
Did not.
He did too. He did. He asked me what you were like.
Oh, if you're lying, I'll beat the crap out of you.
I'm not lying.
Oh my God, what should I do?
Failed to mention previously.
Yes.
When they were at the dance and Ted was dancing next to Sam.
Yeah.
She wasn't dancing with him. He was dancing next to her. And she scurries off. After that, Jake approaches Ted and it was like, "Hey, that girl you were dancing with, did you come here with her?" And he's like, No, I didn't.
Is that your girl?
That's your girl. You got her. Sorry, bro. That's it. He's like, "Shut up." He's like, "So you didn't come here with her?" And he was like, "No, but honestly, I'm trying to leave here with her. If you get,"
he said, "If my parents says
he's like,
okay,
if my dad says it's okay, I'm trying to bring her back home with me." So he's trying to get the intel on Sam,
right? Which is
because he's interested in her.
Exactly.
So back to the car scene. We're back into the shop class room. Gives her the whole story, gives her the whole play-by-play of him asking about her. And then she's like, "Oh my God, what do I do? What do I say?" Yada, yada, yada. She's like having 1,000 thoughts.
He's like, "Go for it."
Head at this moment. And she's like, "You gotta go for it." And she's like, "Okay, I will." So she gets out of the car. She's like super eager, super excited. And then before she, has the opportunity to leave
like,
and try to go talk to Jake, he stops her.
What do you want? What do you want?
And he says, "Okay, before you leave," and this is kind of like before I knew you and before we had this like heart-to-heart conversation, I kind of promised my friends that I would sleep with you. And then she's like, "Come again?"
Sure.
And he's like, "But this is before I knew you. This is before we became friends. And I can do that and prove to them that I did without, actually doing the act."
Oh,
And then she's like, "Okay, how?" And he's like, "Can I borrow your underpants for 5 minutes?"
Which, spoiler alert, he never gives her underwear back.
But spoiler alert, she gives it to him.
She does.
I would not want to go the rest of the night without wearing underwear. Ugh. Commando, I hate it. No thanks.
I think I would have maybe.
I would have not have done that. I'd be like, "So everyone thinks that I slept with you?" Like,
I prefer to give my bra than my underwear.
I don't like the idea of anyone thinking that I had, slept with you.
Well, I guess she thought.
In fact, did not.
She thought it was going to be two people. She was just. She was high off of Jake. She was like high off for information. She was like, "Whatever, dude."
So she gives him the underwear.
And then so we see back in the dance, we see Jake and Caroline. They're slow dancing once again. And she's like, she mentions to him.
She's like, rubbing on his neck and his head, and she's like, I love it when your parents are out of town because I imagine that me and you are married and we're the most popular adults in town.
Yes.
And we throw awesome parties and everybody loves us. And then he's like, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Totally.
And
then she's like, what's going on with you? You've been acting really weird.
You have been.
And she was like,
weird.
I'm getting a weird vibe. And he's like, well, it's not coming from me.
Oh, liar.
I was like, wow, he's literally gaslighting her.
Yes.
He's like, well, it's not coming from me.
Okay.
Why are you lying through your teeth
like,
right now?
she's
Because
like-
you're literally like over her.
Right. She's like, okay.
And then she was like, don't get it twisted here, Jake honey. I can think of 1,000 guys who would kill to love me.
Know your worth. Work, bitch. She ain't lying.
And then he goes, is that a threat? And she says, it's a fact, Jake.
Yes. I do not need you.
I know that's right, Carolyn.
You acted funny. I asked you about it. You said no like a puss.
I love how she was
They
like,
remind you.
she was like, it's a
There's a
fact,
line.
Jake.
There's a line.
Don't get it twisted. Don't forget what you got standing right here in front of you.
There's a line.
Because I could go over there to rock.
Yes.
Real quick.
Just
let recognize.
Let it be known. She asked him. The vibe is off. Is there
What's
anything you
going
want to talk
on?
about? He said, no. You're the problem, not me. You're seeing things.
You're seeing
okay. Just okay. If I'm seeing things, that's fine. But just know
See how these
there's
men do
a
you?
line.
See how they like to act. But
All right,
anywho,
Jake just want to play games. He acting like, oh, whatever.
after she low key reads him to filth,
Yes.
they go back to slow dancing.
Slow dancing, yes. And she also mentioned that, she invited a couple friends over. Nothing big.
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing too crazy.
So after this, Jake is like, Caroline's like, are you ready to go? And Jake's like, yeah, let's beat it, honey. So then we see in the hallway outside the dance, Sam is, practicing ways to make conversation with Jake.
She's like spitballing like phrases like, hey, Jake, I like your shirt. Or, hey, do you have a cigarette?
Yes. Or like, hey, I heard you asked about me.
Or,
you
Jake,
have a
I'm
cigarette?
totally in love with you and I'll do anything to make you love me.
Gross.
And then the one that she decides on is, Jake, I had a dream about you last night and you won't believe what it was.
That was the one she decided on?
That was the one.
I'm glad she didn't say that.
Jake, I had the most craziest dream last night and you were in it.
All you have to do is say, hey.
Hey.
Because we know why we're here.
But that's the one she was like, golden ticket, that's it.
Yeah. And
I
she
love this one.
Thank God she didn't go with
Thank
that
God that one didn't come out her mouth.
So
then
yeah.
she returns into the gym. Jake's looking for his coat in
jacket.
the coat rack area. And she stands behind him, ready to like tap on his shoulder and just, say what she's gonna say. But at the last second, she chickens out. And
Right.
she turns around.
Take a breath. Like, okay, here we go. We're about to do it. We're doing it.
Yeah.
And then while she's doing that, Jake turns around, sees the back of her head. He's like, yay.
And he's like, sees her standing behind him. And he's like, he's got like a little smile on his face and his arms are crossed. And he's like excited for her to like turn around and like speak to him. And then so when she finally does turn around, they lock eyes. And once again,
she's like, oh, fuck.
She runs off.
She's like,
She's like,
and she's giving like, I would feel played if I was him too. Because it's like in her head, I know she's like, oh, what am I doing? But like to him, it seems like she's like, ew.
She must be disgusted at the sight of me.
He's like, oh, okay.
And then so when she runs off, his face instantly drops. Like his little soft little smile goes to like sad heartbreak.
Poor thing.
He's so precious.
Yeah, he is.
You don't think so?
He's no Caroline. I'm Team Caroline. So that's done. Jake and Caroline head off to the party. And then we see Sam off to the side feeling like crap because she really ruined her chance with Jake. And then she like also comes to realizations like she's like, I can't believe I gave Ted my underwear.
Meanwhile, we see Ted and his loser friends.
Bryce and Weeze. I don't know.
Whatever.
I can't
They're
spell.
charging $2 at the door.
$1.
$1 at the door in the boys' bathroom to take a peek at a Sam's underwear.
They make $70.
Dang.
That means 70 guys saw her underwear.
Dang. That's a lot of money.
Only freshmen though, but that's enough.
Only freshmen are allowed.
$70.
$70 for a showcase of girls' drawers. Drawers.
They wear the most teenage underwear ever. Like I don't think
They were.
They're like the most adorable things ever. So the dance is over. Sam is over it. So we see a very now cool, relaxed, drunk maybe Long Duck Dong. He's driving Sam and his girlfriend,
his new American girlfriend,
home, and which I believe is their grandparents or Sam's grandparents' car. Which I don't understand how he has his license, but she don't. I guess when they did the foreign exchange thing, they were like someone who has to know how to drive to get the groceries because we basically need a slave.
Right, because we won't be doing that.
Yeah, so we won't be doing that. So he's very cool now. He's smoking cigarettes. He's hanging on his girl. He's driving
American
crazy.
lady.
He's vibing. He must be kept in the house back at the grandparents' place. He's like, thank God, get me out of that place. And then we cut to, I think this is one of my favorite scenes, a very awkward dinner with Jeannie, her parents, and her...
Which is Sam's parents.
Yes, her parents and her fiance's parents. So the Bakers, which is Sam's people, are like very high class.
Middle class American,
falutin whites.
Suburban family. Then we have her fiance's family, very... low-level mobster family.
It's giving mob.
Like it's giving mob, but like the lowest totem pole of
like
the mob.
they got money, but it's not legal.
But it's not clean money.
It's like it's like Matilda's dad.
It's like
they're selling like literally crappy cars.
Literally, they are Matilda's parents.
Yes, yeah, that's what it's giving.
They are literally Matilda's parents.
When I watched it, I was like, oh, they're going to get a divorce.
And it's not a vibe. It's like mixing water with oil.
I see a divorce in their future.
Oh, very soon.
Actually, I thought it at first.
She's only been dating the boy for 6 months.
I kind of like him towards the end.
Yes, at the wedding, I liked him.
I like how he's like, oh, babe, you drunk. He's like, I got everybody.
You drugged up.
He's not embarrassed. I kind of like that. I don't know.
Because he's used to that behavior.
Which she is a mess. She's
self-absorbed because she took 4 Valiums.
No, I'm just in general. She's not a nice person.
Yeah. It's just the relationship.
It's a recipe for a semester.
It's a recipe for disaster.
And it's so funny watching Sam's parents be like, what is like,
why are we here? Like, how did we get here?
It's just like they're so disgusted with like their in-laws, their future in-laws, which I think is hilarious.
As they should be.
Well, why didn't they sit their daughter? I appreciate them not telling Jeannie that you can't marry him, because that's what I'd have been. I was like, are you not married? No. It's been 6 months.
No, that means they don't care enough. They should have told her.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like they should have too.
They're probably like, she needs to figure it out on her own.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just like, you know what? We know our daughter. This is... she's pretty.
They're probably like, maybe she won't make it down the aisle.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just like, she's pretty, but I don't see too many men who want to deal with her. Right. So if you find that's a taker, let him have it.
But anywho, we're at a very awkward dinner date situation between the in-laws.
Yes. And then back at home, Sam has been dropped off by Long Duck Dong and his girlfriend. They're off to party. Sam's going inside to sleep.
They're going to Jake's.
They're going to
Jake's.
And
baby.
she's clearly upset because he's been in town for 5 minutes and found a girl, and she's been in town her whole life and can't get one senior.
People are treating her like she's a freaking disease.
So now we're back at Jake's house, or we're just getting to Jake's house. And we see Caroline has turned this into a totally Mean Girls moment where it's like, I bought enough cheese and crackers for 4 people. Do you think that'll be enough? Yeah.
And it's totally be enough.
Yeah. And it's like the whole freaking school. Basically, it's the whole freaking high school in Jake's house. And even Long Duck Dong and his girl there, freaking Ted and his friends are in attendance. It doesn't go well for too long. But then we see, Jake walking around. Clearly, he's angry with Caroline. He retreats to his bedroom, and he tries calling Sam.
In his bed, he's looking through the yearbook. He's looking to find Sam's picture.
He's like, that's her.
I don't know how he gets her number. I don't know if it's in the yearbook or what.
Phone book, who knows?
Phone book, whatever, yeah. Calls up her number, and, of course... she has her own, private line in her room, Cute. But her grandparents are sleeping in her room, right? So they call, or Jake calls, the phone's ringing, it's ringing, and the grandparents are asleep, so no one picks up initially. But they answer the phone at the last second, and right before Jake hangs up, he says, ugh, eat me. Big mistake, right. Bucko. So then...
You're like, whoa. Sex.
He hangs up. The grandpa is like, well, who was it? What did they want? And then the grandma's like, sex.
I don't think I would have got that from
eat me. Yeah.
No matter what the time.
No matter what the times were, I wouldn't have gotten sex from sex.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe.
eat me. I don't know. Maybe that's what they said back then, but I wouldn't have got that. And I feel like grandma wouldn't have gotten it either. So Jake is doing this whole like phone tag thing. So he calls again. And I think he hangs up one more time and then he calls again. And the grandfather.
And now at this point, they're pissed.
Yes.
The grandparents are like, what's going on here? Who playing phone tag?
Exactly.
Like, why y'all playing on my phone?
It's like it's 10 o'clock, but it's the middle of the night for them.
So now the grandparents are anxiously sitting on the phone waiting for him to call again. And he does.
Yes.
And then they pick up. The grandpa's like, who is this? And Jake being startled because he's like, anticipating to hear like Sam's voice. And he's like, is this the residents of the Baker household? And the grandpa's like, yes, it is. And he's like, well, can I speak to Samantha Baker? I would like to converse with her briefly.
LOL.
He says. He sounds so polite.
Stop playing on my phone, sir.
The grandmother takes the phone and is just like, listen, bucko, our granddaughter would never be bothered with the likes of you and the sex-filled thoughts that you have.
Disgusting.
Okay? So don't call here again in the middle of the night disrupting our peace and try to cop a feel with our granddaughter. And they click the phone and hang up on him.
Damn.
And then
that's why
they got the nerve to be like, Sam's so lucky she has us.
Girl.
Even if she doesn't realize it.
She would probably spit on her grave if she knew.
Literally. Can you if she would have found out that he had called her phone and her grandparents gave him that type of message?
Yes. Oh my God.
You know what I love about Jake? He's persistent. He never gives up.
Yeah, don't let the grandparents stop you, dude. They don't know what they're talking about.
And so Jake is hung up on by the grandparents. And he was like, wow.
And then before that happened, because he wanted some privacy and Caroline was trying to bother him, he closed the door while she's leaning against the
door hinge.
Yeah, the door hinge, which gets her hair stuck in the door
hinge.
Yes, and she's drunkenly like, "Oh my God, I can't free myself." And she sees her other drunk friends who have, mind you, his mother's fur coats on and pearls. They break the pearls.
To which they break the pearl necklace.
Do they have no respect? That's too far.
That is why he don't like Carolyn.
Too freaking far.
That's so disrespectful.
So she's like, "Someone help me, help me." She's so drunk. She's like, "Someone help me." And the friends are like,
what? You know what's taking me out? She's like, "Guys, help me. I'm your prom queen."
Yes.
For goodness sakes. I was like, not I'm your prom
She's
queen.
Funny.
She said, "I'm your prom queen. Help me now."
Just don't play with me.
I was like, she did not.
I'm your leader.
Like literally, I was like, she did not just say that.
She's hilarious.
Like, have some respect. I'm your prom queen.
So her drunk friends are like, "Okay, we'll be right back." They come back and then they come with scissors and they're like, "You promise you won't be mad at me?"
She's like, "I could never. I would never be mad at you."
And then the girl.
So to free her,
I like how their friend is like, "Scalpel." It's like just scissors.
And this is just a pair of like kitchen scissors. So to free her and her hair from the door hinge, instead of just, waiting it out or knocking on the door to have
pulling
Jake
the hair,
open it, she cuts off
the biggest chunk.
Her freaking hair.
The thickest chunk of hair.
It's a large amount of hair. It'd have been different if it was just a couple of hairs. It's literally the entire back portion of her hair.
Top. It's the crown of her hair she cuts off.
It's literally like chop, chop, chop.
They was wild for that.
They was wild for that. They gonna regret that one in the morning.
Luckily, it's in the back of her hair. It should be fine for seeing your pictures, I'm sure. But Jesus.
So then she thanks her.
Yeah.
Carolyn is like, "Oh my God, Trace, thank you so much. I love you. You're a lifesaver." She's like, "Anytime, girl.
Anytime I got you." So next we see at the party. The party's over. Jake has come out his room. He walks around to see the damage of his house, and it is terrible.
Think Project X.
Yes.
Like, honestly. Before the Mercedes goes into the pool.
Right. It was like salvageable.
But like, not really. Like,
yes.
you're in big trouble, mister.
Like
there's foam and soap and sud coming out of like the AC vents. There's freaking pizza on top of the record player.
Yeah.
There's
just toilet
beer,
paper,
pretzels
on the lawn.
Everywhere.
Someone put a hole through the floor and messed up their wine cellar.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. There's a hole in the ceiling that fell all the way through to the wine cellar in the basement, and all of their wine is ruined.
Lots of wine.
Oh my god!
Like bottles and bottles of, I'm sure, very expensive champagne.
I would
done for
literally.
His daddy must have money because Jake is like upset. He's not that bothered,
but he's like upset. But like he's upset as if he threw the party, and it was like somebody broke like a vase, and that was it.
He's upset as if like, Catherine's coming tomorrow to clean the place, but how dare they?
Right.
Like,
it's like, dude, you're
not gonna get in trouble for this?
Like, your house is upside down.
Are you a billionaire? Or is your dad
the wine cellar is destroyed.
He's like, gosh darn everyone. Not again.
It's crazy.
That's what it's giving.
So while he's walking around the house looking at the destruction that his girlfriend has caused, he sits down in front of the like dining table or coffee table, and notices as he picks up a beer off the coffee table that Ted is trapped underneath. And it's almost like the coffee table is like almost like built like a coffin.
Yeah.
But it's clear and
glass.
it's glass.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trapped underneath it, probably losing oxygen very quickly. Probably almost moments away from dying.
Yes. And the reason why, some bullies or some jocks put him in there because when him and his friends first got there, they knocked over their like beer pyramid the moment they got there. So this is their payback. This is their revenge.
So, just bullies being bullies.
So then we get a cut back to Sam's house. She's sleeping on the pull-out couch, and then she's awoken by her father, who I guess woke up in his haze and is like, "Oh shit, I forgot Sam's birthday." So he goes downstairs. He wakes up Sam. He's like, "Hey, I wanted to apologize because I forgot your birthday.
We forgot your birthday.
But at this point, she's like, "It's no biggie, guys."
She's like, "I'm over it."
She's not upset anymore. And her dad's like, "Okay, great." So he's about to walk off, and he's like, "Good night." And she's like, "Good night." And he's like, "Is there something else wrong? Because I'm getting the vibe that something else is wrong." And she's like, "Yeah, Dad, it's a boy."
And his dumbass is like, I had a feeling. And he's like, "Hey, honey, me and your mom and the rest of the family aren't crazy about Rick either." And then she's like,
"Huh?
What?" And then she starts crying. And then she was like, "I'm talking about Jake."
Yes.
And then he's like, "Jake? I thought your sister's fiance's name was Rick." And then she's like, "No, you nincompoop. Jake is a boy at school. I'm in love with him."
Right.
And then he's like, "Oh,
that's a good.
We've got this kind of problem here."
And her dad's basically like, "Look, hope you feel better. If he doesn't realize how awesome you are, you don't need to worry about him.
You're an amazing girl.
You're an amazing girl."
They have an incredible heart-to-heart.
Yes. She feels a little better. And then then he wishes her good night, and she goes back to sleep. Dad goes upstairs. And then we go back to Jake's house, and then we see Ted is now free from the shackles of the clear
coffee table was stuck underneath.
And we see Jake holding Sam's underwear, and he's like, "Oh, you really got her underwear, right?" And he asks if they hooked up. She's like, "Oh," and he was like, No, she's just a really cool girl. She did a favor for me." And Ted just wants to make sure that, she likes him. And Jake wants to make sure that Sam likes him. And Ted's like, "Oh, of course she does. Rest assured, she's obsessed with you." And he's like, "I'm kind of surprised to hear that because she kind of blew me off for it." And Ted's like, he's acting like he knows everything. He's like, you know how girls are. They just like to play games.
Jake is listening to him like he's actually like knows what he's talking about. So Ted is like, "Yeah, you know how girls are. They know that we are animals and we think about sex, and then they try to dangle it and toy it in front of us. And that's all she's doing, man." And then he has said something about bitches. I was like, why is he saying bitches? I was like, why is he even using that profanity?
And it's not even, Sam's just shy. That's it.
Right.
She's not playing any games.
She's literally just like nervous. And
maybe he's like helping her case, because I don't want him to know how obsessed she is with him, because it's kind of creepy. If he realizes the obsession. And then Ted's like, and then Jake is like, "You better not be lying to me, because if I find out this girl doesn't like me the way you're talking about it, I will kick her ass." And then Ted's like, "Well, if I find out that you're just after Sam for sex, either I'm gonna pay somebody to kick your ass, or I'm gonna do it myself."
Get a piece of ass anytime I want. Shit, I got Carol in the bedroom right now, passed out cold. I could violate her 10 different ways if I wanted to.
What are you waiting for?
I don't know. She's beautiful and she's built and all that. I'm just not interested anymore.
Does that really matter, guy?
Yeah, it matters. She's totally insensitive. Look what she did to my house. She doesn't know shit about love. I think she cares about is partying. I want a serious girlfriend. Somebody I can love. That's gonna love me back. Is that psycho?
It's beautiful, Jake. You know, I think a ton of guys feel the same way as you do.
Really?
Yeah, it's just they don't have the balls to admit. You know what I mean? I mean, they're wimps. Samantha's she's really special. You know.
Make a deal with you. Let me keep these. I'll let you take Carolyn home. But you.
And they have an agreement.
Yes.
Next scene, we see Jake carrying Caroline into Jake's dad's Rolls Royce for Ted to, in fact, now take her home.
Now, why can't she just sleep on the couch? I never would have said that. I was like, why she needs to go home? It's 1 a.m. Let her sleep there. Why does she need to go home? I never said that.
Yeah.
I was like, why does she need to go home?
Why is that so important?
Why is that so important? Also,
so he could get the drawers.
Ted was not going to fight him on that.
Right. He was not going to fight him on that. He was going to give him the drawers.
Yes.
For any and everything.
Yes. So yes, Ted has agreed to take a very, very, very drunk Caroline home in Jake's father's Rolls Royce. Why?
Because
why, Jake? How rich are you?
A stick shift, and Jake drives a stick shift. And Ted doesn't know how to drive one of those.
What is how rich are they that the value of a Rolls Royce in the hands of a freshman boy doesn't ring a bell for you?
Crazy.
They must be billionaires. They can't be because I've seen the house, but they're at most upper middle class. So they really can't afford.
The Rolls Royce doesn't really match the house. Like a Rolls Royce is really expensive.
True. And the wine cellar, whoo, it was a lot of wine.
They definitely have money, but
yeah, but I'm like, not to be crashing the Rolls Royce and putting holes in the floor like it ain't nothing.
Absolutely not.
He must have some on his daddy. Maybe that's what it is. So Ted is off to bring Caroline home. We also see Long Duck Dong. He's also very drunk. We see that he was in a tree. He falls out of the tree on top of Jake, and Jake punches him in the face. Because
why? Long Duck Dong thought that Jake, for whatever reason, was his new American girlfriend. So he grabbed Jake's private areas, and of course, out of reaction, Jake punches Long Duck Dong in the face.
Why is he in this movie?
How did Long Duck Dong get in a tree? I don't know.
Why is he in this movie? Why did they add this character?
When you really think about it, what is this movie without Long Duck Dong?
I know. Not so racist.
Not nearly as racist. Not nearly as a racist film. Almost race free. Yes. Without Long Duck Dong. They do almost racist.
It was like, we need a non-white character.
Right.
Okay, I got one for you. And at this point, Ted comes up with the idea that he, wants to continue to impress his 2 geek friends. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to stop.
This has to be documented. He's literally driving around in a Rolls Royce with the most beautiful, most popular girl in school. This has to be documented. So, of course, he pulls up to his nerdy little friend's house. And
I don't blame him for that. Like,
I don't blame him for that either.
At least the car alone.
Someone's gonna know that this is happening.
The car alone. You need to see me driving this.
Period. Someone needs to know that this is going on. So he pulls up to their house. He gets them out of the bed, and he tells them to bring their camera.
You freaking nerds.
Right. They get out. They see what all the commotion is, and they're like, "Oh my God, is this real life?" Right. And they're like, "Ted, you're a freaking legend." Yes. You're like top notch. And they're like, no one's gonna believe you though. And then he's like, hello, that's why y'all are here with the camera.
Why are they so stupid but they're so smart?
So he gets in the car, they prop Caroline up, they take their little Polaroids. This is really crazy to me.
So stupid. So freaking stupid.
It's not even, it's the fact that you're literally like propping this human being up and you're like, let's take pictures of this drunk, innocent, intoxicated girl who has no idea where she is or who we are.
Yeah. Look at they just wanted a photo. Jesus Christ.
Like, this is crazy.
And then they only take a photo of his freaking head. Were you not looking at the camera?
It's the 80s. We didn't have digital.
What were you looking at? Would you only take one photo?
Right.
Thank God. Thank God for everyone. There's no photo proof.
Thank God for Caroline.
Just hearsay.
Right.
So, what a wild night. The morning, the sun has risen, and we're back at the Baker home, and everyone's getting prepared for the big day.
It's the wedding day. Jeannie's getting married.
Yeah. Everyone's running around. Jeannie is upset.
Jeannie.
She's on a period. It's not going well.
Her monthly bill came early.
How dare you? Sam's grandparents are calling the police looking for Long Duck Dong. He didn't come home last night. They don't know he's laid out like on the front lawn drunk. But they're doing a missing persons report. It's a lot going on this very special day.
And then so Sam comes down and she meets her mother, who apologizes to her for forgetting her birthday.
Thanks, Mom.
And then once again, she says, it's no big deal.
It's whatever, everyone.
She's, let it go. So then Sam hears some upsetting news. When she eventually, as she's getting ready for the wedding, she gets a call from Randy, her BFF. Who tells her that her little brother, Randy's little brother, paid $1 to see her underwear. She screams in horror.
Your actions have consequences. Luckily to her, Jake knows the true story, so that would be my only saving grace. She doesn't know he knows the true story, but that would be my only saving grace. Like, I don't care if 70 boys saw my underwear. I got the guy.
As long as I get the guy.
I got the guy.
As long as I get the gig. So then the family, they're all dressed up. Sam's in her bridesmaid's gown. Jeannie is in her wedding dress. She's a little off.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little off. But we're making head to the wedding. As we're on the way to the wedding, everyone's getting in the...
Let's go.
What is that old car called that you should get into? Not
Volkswagen?
P2 Cruiser.
Oh, not P2 Cruiser.
Station wagon. We're all getting in the station wagon. As we're pulling off, we get out the driveway. We see Long Duck Dong passed out on the lawn. Everyone stops. We hop out of the car. We're like, oh my God, Long Duck Dong.
Are you okay? Oh my God.
Where have you been?
Oh God,
where is my automobile?
Why you say, where is my automobile? You just say car.
My automobile?
At this point, Long Duck Dong is sick of y'all. My automobile? He's like, motherfucker, I know what a car is.
And he's still like a little hungover, a little drunk. He's laughing the whole thing off.
Very drunk.
He's very drunk.
He's drunk.
He's not giving anyone any answers. And
the only answer he says is that he drove that automobile into a lake. Sir, how did you find a lake?
Crazy.
I wonder how did they settle that? Did they send him right back to where he came from?
I think they're even with the slave labor.
I think so too.
That they've gotten out of him.
They will never have a foreign exchange student again.
I hope this is a lesson learned for them.
They're like, the next foreign exchange student needs to be a black.
Because they know how to do slavery right.
Right, exactly.
So then Sam and her mother and her sister arrive at the church for the wedding. They meet. They're introduced as like a little short lady. They're having a conversation.
Do you remember where she's from?
Teen Witch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I recognize that lady.
I remember. I recognize that voice anywhere you place it.
I recognize that voice anywhere you place it. So they meet this little short lady. They're having a conversation, to which Jeannie reveals that she took 4 muscle relaxers to ease the pain of her period cramp.
4.
And her mother is like, you didn't. And then she's like,
shut up, Mom.
Mother.
Girl, are you gonna die?
So this should make for an interesting wedding.
Hell
4
yeah.
muscle relaxers, why did she think to take 4?
How bad would her cramp? I feel like her cramps were on a level 3.
Like, did she think she was giving birth?
I don't know. Maybe one was for cramps, one was for nerves, one was for I'm having a bad day, and one was for fuck it.
Just like at no point would I ever think like, let me take 4 muscle relaxers. The most I've ever taken is 2.
I've never taken one.
Oh my
I'm
God.
a holy woman.
I have a prescription. Everybody calm down.
Wink. Oh, wink.
So yeah, she's high as hell.
Yes, high as hell.
High as a kite.
We see a parking lot. We see a messed up Rolls Royce. We see a Ted, and we see a Caroline. And Caroline's trying to wake up Ted from his drunk sleep, and somehow he has his retainer on. I don't know where he went.
Oh yeah, where he got his head.
Where did he go to get that? I guess they stopped at home. And Ted's basically wakes up and he's like, "Where are we?" And she's like, "I'll tell you where we are if you tell me who you are," which is not cool. She's like, "We are across the street in my church's parking lot." And Ted's like, "I'm Ted." And he's like, basically, "I don't remember much," which is crazy because he wasn't drinking, that I remember. There are beer cans all over the car, but I'm like, where'd y'all get these from? Y'all weren't drinking. I don't know how he got drunk. I think it was fake news. And Ted's like, "Hey, I don't really remember much." So he asks Caroline, "Did we have sex?" And she confirms that they did. And he asks her, Did you enjoy it? And she, as Jade mentioned early, she says she has a weird feeling that she did.
She was raped.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
She did not consent to have sex with Ted. She consented to have sex with her boyfriend, Jake.
I still think it's crazy that he was like, "Take her home." She could have died. They could have got a car accident. She could have died.
Oh, yeah, she literally could have died.
He doesn't know how to drive a car.
Yeah, that was very dangerous.
That was very dangerous. She could have just slept there.
Also, he could get a pair of panties.
I just think he wanted to get rid. Why he wanted to get rid of his girlfriend so bad? I know you want to break up with her, but like, you're not bringing Sam home tonight. We can do this in the morning.
Wait until the morning.
Yes. Time. But to this, Ted is very excited because this is the first woman he's forced himself upon. Won't be the last, I guess. And
then
they kiss.
They kiss.
Yeah, and like
they share a kiss.
Caroline actually is like, "You know what? Actually, I like you." She's
like a senior into this freshman. Can you imagine being 18 years old making out with a 14-year-old?
I think that I will say that I think that's the weirdest part of this movie is that they both of them, they're like, "You know what we want? We want younger.
We want this.
I want young. I'm not, I'm sick of your old ass.
I want younger.
I don't care if I'm going off to college.
Okay.
I want a
I don't
pubescent
think
teen."
Jake is that. A senior and a sophomore, we see it all the time.
It's because it's a guy and a girl.
That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. But I would be shaking my head if it was Jake and Molly's character was a freshman. I'd be like, ugh, disgusting.
I think it's weird both ways.
I mean, sophomore and senior, that's only 2 years.
I don't know. I just don't understand why you have a healthy relationship with an older person. You're going off to college and like, let me go backwards. Insecurities. So anywho. So
Jake pulls up.
Jake, skirt.
They're kissing. They're mid-kiss. And Jake pulls up.
He's like, "What the fuck?"
And he's like, "Well, what the hell is going on here?"
Like, what you thought, sir? I just don't understand where he's like concerned all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm like,
"Are you threw me? You just threw me on this guy you met last night
to the wolves."
He only met Ted last night.
Literally. So Ted is mortified because,
oh my god, he's gonna kick my ass.
He's like, "Yeah, Jake's gonna kick my ass," and then Caroline is also mortified because she's like, "Oh crap,
God,
I'm kissing another dude as my boyfriend is pulling up," and then so Caroline is Jake. Like, "I'll handle this. I'll handle him," and so she walks over to Jake. It's very awkward, very tense. They have this conversation, and she's like, "Sorry about your house," and Jake's like, "Sorry for leaving you in the care of this idiot." And then she's like, "It's fine."
She's like, "I'm actually glad that it happened," which is a crazy thing to say.
And then Carolyn goes on and she's like, "It won't be the end of the world. Neither of us will die if we don't end up together."
Amen.
And then Jake's kind of not saying much. He's like, "Okay." And then she's like, "I'll leave it up to you." And then he says, "Okay." And
so they broke up.
They hug each other and I guess they're breaking up.
Yeah. It was very amicable.
Very amicable breakup. Very mature.
Thank God for Caroline, who has the big balls to be like,
Caroline,
"Do you want to break up?"
A woman.
He's like, "Okay, sir, just say you want to break up." He has not said that this whole movie.
She had the balls to do what he couldn't.
Why won't he say? The whole movie is him trying to date someone else, and he won't say it. When she asks him, "Do you want to break up?" basically, he's like, "Okay."
He's like, "I don't know. Okay."
I will punch you in the face, sir. Go ahead, Caroline.
She's a woman, a real woman.
So yeah, they broke up. So now he can do, his free stuff. So back at the wedding reception, Sam and her mother are trying to get Jeannie together. She is drunk. They're trying to put the shoes on her.
She's not drunk. She's high.
Oh, so she's high as a kite.
The muscle relaxes. The 4 in total that she took.
They're trying to put her shoes on. She's kicking them off.
Eventually, she stumbles down the aisle.
She sits down. So she tries to sit down.
She gets up there. Poor, I don't even know the fiance's name. Ricky.
He don't care.
I don't know. He's trying to get her together. Eventually, she holds up long enough to get to the I do's, and they get hitched.
Woo! So we see them exiting the wedding. Ginny's still very freaking high. She's like taking her shoes off.
She's taking the veil off. She's stumbling.
She tries to sleep on the steps.
She's doing twirls.
They're throwing rice. She tries to eat it.
It's just a lot. And the husband's just behind her every step.
He's like, oh, my sugar plum.
Trying to collect her.
He's just like, oh, you. I think he's so cute.
And then so they make it to the limo. They get in the car. And they wave and they drive off into the sunset to live happily for a total of 2 years before they get divorced.
Yes. They might have 2 kids divorced.
They're definitely going to have some kids before they get divorced.
So while that was going on, Sam was like, oh, wait, let me go back into the wedding hall or the church because my sister threw off her veil and I know she's going to want that for memories. So she runs back in to grab it. She comes out. Hoping that everyone's still there. Parents have packed up in the car. Ginny is off. And once again, they forgot about it. Was giving, oh my God, they forgot about me once again.
It was literally like, you're joking me. They forgot about me for the second time.
The bridal party is me and my little sister. How could you forget about me?
Like, literally. Huh? So as she's watching everyone pull off, all the guests, all her family, everyone's getting in the car.
She looks sad.
She looks down. And then when she looks up,
who that back there?
She sees Jake standing there
in his red Corvette.
Yes,
honey.
Looking cuter than ever with his hands in his pocket, waiting for her.
She sees him looking at her. She turns around. She's like, who you looking at? Because you're not looking at me.
And she's like, me? And he's like, yes, you.
Like, stop being such an idiot. I've been chasing you this whole freaking movie.
This whole hour and a half film, I've been after you.
You know, Ted told you I like you. I've been trying to talk to you. I've shown up at your sister's wedding. Obviously, I'm talking to you.
Here?
You think I like to come to church and want to confess to the priest, girl? Come on now.
So she makes her way down the steps. They meet each other.
He's like, hey, I've been thinking about you. He asks, are you going to the reception?
And she's like, yeah, I'm supposed to.
And he's like, okay.
Well, can I call you later? And she's like, yeah. And then she says, no.
Oh.
And he's like, I can't call you later? And she's like, yeah. And then he gets sad and he frowns. And she's like, I mean, no.
Me through the ringer.
I'm not going to the reception.
I'm going with you.
And he's like, you're not? And she's like, no, I want to go with you.
So cute.
And then so they walk off together.
Do you think she should have went to her sister's reception?
Huh?
Do you think she should have went to her sister's reception?
Fuck no.
No,
Are you kidding me?
She won't remember.
Her sister doesn't know what's going on. They forgot her at the wedding. They forgot her birthday. I think she's allowed this one moment.
Exactly. This is.
I think she's allowed this moment of selfishness.
They need to go lay her sister down somewhere. She don't need to be going to the reception.
She doesn't need to be there. So then they walk off. They get into the car, but right before she enters the car with Jake, she sees her dad and she points to Jake and she's like, "This is the guy." And then her dad looks at her and gives her a thumbs up of approval.
Yay! Aw.
And then cut to the next scene. We see Jake. She's still Jake and I want to say Molly. Jake and Sam. She's still in her bridesmaid's dress.
Gorgeous.
They're sitting on like the sofa. They're both crisscross Indian style, and there is a cake with
sofa. They're sitting
candles.
On a table.
Whatever the hell they're sitting on. Whatever.
I always thought it was crazy.
They're sitting on a table, crisscross Indian style, and there is a lit birthday cake with 16 candles.
16 candles.
Sitting in between them. And the lights are off. It's just them. And he's like,
talking together.
Will you shut the hell up on your talk?
I'm singing in the background.
Jesus Christ. I'm losing my train of thought over you talking.
I'm doing the background music.
So she's like,
she
says, thanks for getting my underwear back. And she's like, and then Jake's like, thanks for coming over. And then Sam says, thanks for inviting me. And then he goes, well, make a wish. And then she says, it's already come true.
Girl.
And he says, happy birthday, Samantha. And then they lean in for a kiss. And then they kiss each other.
I ain't lie. When she says it already came true, I was like, oh my God, girl, relax. She's doing too much.
No, she's not. He's literally in love with her back.
What movie? I think it was like not a teenage movie, and she's like, I fall in love with a guy, and all my problems would be solved. This is the movie she's talking about,
and that's why I'm happy with it. I love this movie. Literally, I love how.
I do love that
little she had to do to get the guy.
No, I do love that she got him, but I do hate she's like, all my dreams have come true. I'm like, are you 15?
I just love how he was so. You keep on saying like she's so obsessed with him, but he's obsessed with her back. Like I just love how he was so enamored with her. He's like, you know what? This girl stares at me all the time, and I want to find out more. I love she didn't have to get a makeover.
Like he just wanted attention.
She didn't have to get a makeover. She didn't have to transform to anybody. She didn't have to get invited to a prom, then uninvited.
No tricks.
She didn't have to be rich. Like no tricks. He just liked her. And I love it. I love it.
No, it is cute.
This one might be given She's All That.
This are Pretty in Pink.
Oh God, I don't want to say I hate Pretty in Pink, but Pretty in Pink gives me anxiety.
I hate the boy in Pretty in Pink.
I know you do.
I hate his fucking face.
Pretty in Pink is tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to watch because it's just like so.
It's like Romeo.
Say it. Remember that scene?
Yeah, it's like Romeo and Juliet, but like the families hate each other and like coming together.
It's like too intense.
It is
like
intense.
It's not lighthearted.
Just like, why is this poor girl here? It's not lighthearted.
It's not.
I think the saving grace is Decky. Do you love Decky?
Yeah,
but it is not lighthearted.
There's no lightheartedness to it.
It's very intense.
Ugh.
But see, that to me it's the truest of love.
Whatever.
It's so funny.
This one's so good. This
one's
his
good.
best work. Out of the three, I think this one's my
fun.
favorite.
What's
The Breakfast Club? I love The Breakfast Club, but I don't think there's a good lesson in The Breakfast Club. You want to know why?
What's the good lesson? Okay, yeah, tell me.
Here we are, John Bender. What lesson are we teaching girls here?
Oh yeah, no, terrible.
You can rip on a girl day in, day out, talk horrible things to her. Say horrible things, do horrible things to her. And at the end of the day, you still get her. Treat girls like crap and you get the girl. What's the lesson in that? There isn't one. This is why 16 Candles
but he's
is
so
superior.
fucking hot. God damn.
He is.
So hot. Ooh. But what's the lesson in 16 Candles? Oh, I guess so. If you
There's
put it out in the
not necessarily
universe,
a lesson in that one, but the lesson in The Breakfast Club,
right,
isn't teaching a good one.
It's not the relationship dynamic in The Breakfast Club is not good as opposed to this one.
Yes.
But, manifestation.
It's sending a bad message.
This
to
movie
young girls.
teaches you manifestation. If you put it out in the world, it might come back.
This is. Yeah.
You write it down.
Write
might
it
come
down
back
100 times every morning. You might manifest it.
And then, maybe I haven't seen Pretty Pink in a while.
I haven't seen it either.
Being poor is hard. I don't.
Right.
You can overcome. I'm not really sure.
You can win the rich guy no matter how poor you are.
You can marry into the right family. I don't. But all right.
Well, this has been fun. I have to tinkle.
Yeah.
Make sure you like, rate, subscribe.
Hate when I forget to say it at the beginning.
She hates that.
Tell your friends.
All your friends.
Tell them to follow, rate, subscribe, download, and rate. And bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, guys.